includes instant access to the Kids Guide online, as well as the Kids Guide to Easter in America, all for free. The Kids Guide to Easter in America explores Easter's deep connections to our history and how the modern customs we all know and love came to be. Make sure your kids know all about the miracle of Easter. Use the QR code on your screen to get your free Easter gift bundle now, or go to freeeastergift.com.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active than before? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it.
It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe? Are you innocent, faultless, above reproach? If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. But finding one, it's laborious, it's strenuous, it's stupefying. That's why you gotta call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. They know the legalese, the lingo, the jargon, and the argot. They'll even tell you how much money your case could be worth. $300,000, $2 million, $86,491, all sorts of numbers. Slip and falls, work accidents, car, truck, bus, motorcycle, motorbike, e-bike, tandem bike. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid, and I don't get paid. So I compel you, I implore you, I beseech you to pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-428-1369.
He tells it like it is, with decades covering Washington and the really big stories. Ed Henry cuts through the noise and gives you the facts you need to know. Watch Ed on The Briefing tonight on Newsmax 2.
Hi folks, we're back. If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Pick up the phone, call now.
No matter what you drive, there's only one guarantee. It's gonna break down.
I had a sensor light up on my dashboard.
There was a popping noise.
The last thing I remember is just the engine cut out.
Your next breakdown could be anytime, anywhere, whether you've got the money to fix it or not.
It was a thermostat, $2,600.
Seat sensor, $1,400.
But if you've got endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a car repair again, no matter how much it cost them to cover it.
In my first year with Endurance, they covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
It was like almost a $6,000 job. If I didn't have Endurance, I would have had to pay for that or just trash the whole car and start again.
If your car's out of warranty, a transmission can easily cost you $4,000.
And an engine? Over $7,000, if you're lucky.
With Endurance, those parts are covered.
The bad camera unit, $800 to repair. A bad wheel bearing, over $1,000. A new steering rack, close to $3,000. Endurance covered it fully.
Plus, you pick the mechanic you trust to do the work.
It's a totally seamless process going to any certified mechanic. They submit the claim directly to Endurance. They get paid, and I'm out the door.
You trust us to do the work, and we trust Endurance to pay us direct.
And the best part, your rate stays locked in no matter how many claims you file.
If your car's under 20 years old, Endurance has you covered with unlimited miles. Plus, your plan includes 24/7 roadside assistance anywhere in the country.
So, who's gonna pay for your next breakdown? You?
Or Endurance.
Right now, you can get
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Boise and the Treasure Valley. Seen on KTVJ3 and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon. Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is where Jerry Bilden is now captain of Artemis 9.
Oh, hey, we're off. We're on the way, huh?
Yeah, here we go.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, good successful launch, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good to see that picture again.
Yeah, and it's interesting. A whole generation of Americans are waking up to realize that not only are we going to the moon, but we've actually been there before.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going up to look for electricity, I guess.
Or water. Or both, yeah.
Well, this is also Passion Week. Today is a significant day in the last week of Jesus. This is where the disciples prepared the Passover supper. The Passover meal, better known as the Last Supper there in the upper room. It's also where we have the upper room discourse found in John chapter 13, which is an amazing chapter, especially as it relates to the issues of Judas. However, I won't go there now. Then it goes to the prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane. So today is a big day. Some churches recognize this day with what they call a Maundy Thursday service, which recognizes not only the Last Supper, but the betrayal of all 12. Basically walk away from them late in the day or early in the next morning. And of course tomorrow is Good Friday. So that's pretty much what's going on as far as this week is concerned, as it's Passion Week. I don't know if your church recognizes Maundy Thursday, but if you've never been to a Maundy Thursday service, you have one out there, don't you?
Yep.
At Trail, I know some of them do what they call a tenebrae service, which is done in the dark or done with candles. Yeah. Very impacting. So we have all that for you today, and just take that under consideration as we move towards tomorrow, which is Good Friday.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. The president made a speech last night.
Yes, he did.
We'll talk about that. I don't think there was too much said that he hasn't been saying.
And you know what? It didn't go that long. He went about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Normally when he starts going, he gets off script and he goes.
Well, he didn't get off. I mean, there was a few one-liners here and there, but for the most part, he stayed on teleprompt.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that coming up.
Right.
Otherwise, weather, we're seeing a little bit of change, but boy, we'll see a big change by the time we get to Easter Sunday.
Could be, yeah.
All the daffodils should be out there going, yay!
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
There we go.
Perfect timing.
What do you got, man?
Well, you got any projects you're working on?
You know, why'd you ask that question?
Because it's National DIY Day, Do-It-Yourself Day. So what are you working on?
Oh, you mean like at home stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking here.
Oh, no, let's leave that at...
My stack
Oh, no doubt.
I went home last night, and anyway.
Makes you want to go DIY, doesn't it?
Yeah,
get your mind around some project at home.
You know, that's so true. You know what I enjoy doing?
What?
This sounds crazy. I enjoy mowing lawns.
Yeah, I do too. I
get on that mower. It's loud. I don't wear any earplugs.
I know.
I don't have my phone with me because I did lose a phone. I think I chewed it up in my
I think you did, yeah. Oh, that's funny.
But it's kind of like the guy on Forrest Gump when he was mowing the football field.
Yes.
Remember he's out there with that little mower going like that?
Yes.
And he's making the lines back and forth?
I'm like my dad. You know, when he retired, what he did was he was the official lawnmower at church.
Really?
Yeah, and they had a big lawn, and he would take his John Deere over there.
Yeah.
And he was the man, you know, and he loved it. And this is a farmer who grew up, you know, driving John Deere tractors in the field, and that was like his outlet near the end of his life.
Well, there's a trick to all that.
What?
The Bible says, put your hand at the plow and don't look back, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look back, you'll plow a crooked line.
Yes. All right.
So the first guy that mows the football field, he always goes down the middle and makes a straight line.
Yes.
And then he can work his way off.
Exactly right.
You know?
Yes.
So it's something as mundane as that.
Check it out.
Okay. Now, I can sit on that mower by hours. It doesn't bother me at all.
I am so with you. In fact, I have created my own lawnmower slogan.
What?
If mowing your lawn doesn't bring you joy, you got the wrong lawnmower.
Well, there's some truth to that. My lawnmower does. There's times I think it's a chainsaw. Chainsaw with wheels.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah,
yes.
you got to be a little careful about that.
All right.
But anyway, something as mundane. There's only one thing about gardening I do not like.
What?
I have to really force myself to do it.
What?
That's working on drip systems.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh.
I just don't have the patience for it.
You know,
and it never fails. By the time I get ready to put the head on it, it's the wrong one.
Right.
Or I don't have it.
And I have had trouble with my dogs in our drip systems because it gets hot in the summertime here in the drips. They go out in the beds because it's cooler, because the drip systems, and then they hunker down and they find a nice place to lay down where it's cooler, and they break my hoses and the connections, and I'm fixing drip systems all summer long.
I just don't. I don't know what it is. It's something about that. I don't know. Maybe I need counseling.
Well, there you go, because it's National Reconciliation Day.
Really?
Yes, but this one is geared towards urging us to repair relationships that we've damaged through words, actions, or both. So if there's something that is pressing on you this morning, by all means, make some efforts to reconcile.
Okay.
It's a good step. Also, this is bizarre that we go from reconciliation to this. It is National Ferret Day.
Oh.
Male ferrets are called hobs, female ferrets are called Jills, and their offspring are called kits. The whole family is called a business.
Really?
Yes.
Hobbs? What is it?
A business. Now, the hobs, Jills, kits, kids are kits, and the whole unit is business. So take care of your business out there today.
So you have a feral as your mascot.
Ferret? No way. A ferret is... Now, some people keep ferrets at home. They have them as house pets.
I know.
Now, did you know
they're this long?
They're part of the family that includes the otter, badger, weasel, marten, mink, and wolverine. Who wants a cousin of a wolverine in your house?
Well, they can be kind of friendly little dudes. As long as good. I'm glad to hear that list because they look like a rat.
They do. Yes, okay. Moving on, we have two things to eat. First, it's peanut butter jelly day. And of course, you know, the average American will have eaten over 2,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches by the time you graduate high school.
Really?
Yeah, they only measure it up until you graduate.
Okay.
You know, after that, I don't know what happens to you. But you know what? I think a lot of people keep eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and we've talked even about the swirl peanut butter jelly jars that you can get, and we've been blessed with one. Yes, yes indeed. And it is good stuff. So enjoy that. And if it's not for you, you can always have a burrito, because it is National Burrito Day. Burrito, obviously, for those who may not know, is a heavy tortilla wrapped around meat, cheese, tomato, rice, beans, vegetables, and sauces. And like many other tortilla dishes, the burrito is flexible. The cook chooses the meat fillings from ground beef, shredded chicken, shredded beef, or shredded pork. And the same applies to the beans of choice, often ranging from black, red, whole, or refried beans. So there are a lot of variables in it. But did you know the word burrito translates to little donkey in Spanish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, little burrito. And this name likely comes from the way that these wrapped tortillas resemble the packs that donkeys would carry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And the burrito was introduced in the United States only in the 1930s at the El Cholo Spanish Cafe in Los Angeles. Since then, the burrito has found its way to menus all across the United States, including breakfast burritos. That's a recent addition to the burrito family.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. Except the only thing about breakfast burritos, can you just lighten up on the spuds? I don't like a lot of potatoes in my breakfast burrito.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Scott here leaves burritos around like they're hidden candy.
Yeah.
You can open a drawer around here and find a burrito that Scott has hidden in there.
Absolutely, yes.
You know?
Yes.
But a good breakfast burrito. Now, Noe Pineda, you probably don't remember him, but that's before your time.
Okay.
He did a Spanish program on the Dove in the early days when we were in Ashland.
Oh, I've heard it.
He would come in live and do and it was, he is still pastoring a Spanish Assembly of God church in Salem.
Really?
30-something years.
Really?
Faithful guy. You can go online and watch him.
Nice.
He's a hoot of a guy. I called him the other day. We were talking about
cool. All right.
And he would come to the Dove and bring us the true Mexican breakfast burrito.
Okay.
And it was hardly any potatoes, but it was full of egg and bacon.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Wrapped in a tortilla.
Oh, that is fabulous.
And kind of moderately, cooked.
Yep. In fact, so much so about the spuds, and I like spuds. I mean, I eat spuds like crazy. We just had Tater Day, remember? Yeah, Tater Day. But if I'm getting a breakfast burrito and the place is known for doing a lot of potatoes in it, I just say, give me a pork burrito. Just give me pork.
Okay.
And I'll just do a traditional burrito and pretend it's breakfast burrito.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But I like the egg and bacon, light potato breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
So much for all that.
A lot of options. Peanut butter and jelly or burritos. What do you do?
All right, well, here's Pam's little burrito.
Here's your forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly before 2 p.m. and then some sun breaks in the afternoon with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Across the Willamette Valley, it stays cloudy, cool, and wet. Salem reaches a high of 56, while Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene all top out near 55, with conditions beginning to improve later toward evening. In central Oregon, a chance of rain and snow in upper 40s in Prineville. Snow likely for Bend and Sun River with highs in the low to mid 40s. Scattered rain and snow in Boise in upper 40s. Along the Oregon coast, showers and possibly thunderstorms, then clearing with highs in the mid 50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Rain continues for Brookings with a high near 51 and Crescent City, California near 54. In southern Oregon, rain mixed with snow in spots this morning in the Rogue Valley, then mostly cloudy in mid-50s for Grants Pass and Medford and 49 in Ashland. Snow in Klamath Falls and highs in the mid-40s. Into northern California, a chance of rain and snow in Wairika with a high near 52. Sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime high temperatures in the mid-60s and lows in the 40s. Sunshine returns across the Bay Area with daytime highs in the mid-60s for Santa Rosa and Napa through San Francisco and down to San Jose with a northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour gusting up to 18. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, there's our city there today. A little sprinkle still going on this morning, so drive carefully out there. And let's see, it kind of tapers off later today. And as we head to the weekend, looking good. Looking good.
Man, do you ever wake up with a dirty, rotten, stinking attitude?
That's a DRA.
Dirty, rotten attitude, DRA. Yeah, I like that.
Have you ever bumped into somebody that has a DRA?
Oh, yes.
Do you have enough sense to leave them alone?
Oh, sometimes. It depends on if I'm dealing with my DRA or not. You know, when you have two DRAs, they come up with one another. Duck. But yeah, no, it's better to be mindful of such situations. Right. And with that in mind, Dr. Anthony George is here to encourage us to worship the Lord because it will change your day.
You know, worship isn't just an obligation and it's not just a privilege, but let me tell you, there are a lot of great benefits to worshiping God. And I'm not just talking about in a church service. Worship is a way of life. You can worship at home on your sun porch or in your breakfast room or even in your bed lying sleepless through the night. Cry out the praises of God. In your car, boy, that's a great way to worship God is in the freeways on Atlanta's highways. Amen. Crank up the worship music. But there are benefits to worship, like for instance, worshiping God where it means you literally envision Him seated on His throne. It elevates your mind. Our minds are so bogged down with the Democrats and the Republicans and fighting and fussing and the shutdown and the lockdown and wars and bombs and everybody hates everybody and no king's protest. Every now and then you got to turn all that off and go to worshiping. Get your mind elevated in the throne room of God. You know something else? Worship alleviates stress in your life. You're stressed out about this and stressed out about this, and where's the joy of the Lord? You're bound up so tight. Something happens when you linger in the presence of God, and the stress starts to dissipate. I mean, I've never taken a hit on a bottle of Jack Daniels, but I gotta believe that worshiping God takes the edge off that no glass of wine can touch. You want to take that edge off? Get alone with God. God will take the edge off when you worship Him.
That's fabulous. God will take the edge off. That is so good.
Bob Gass, who writes the devotional, he was preaching a sermon one time, what it is to pray through. You know, maybe you've heard that expression in church sometime. Praying through. Okay, so basically what he says, have you ever sat down to pray and all of a sudden, you were reminded of a million things that need to be done.
Oh, gosh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You are overwhelmed with guilt of things that you haven't done.
Yes.
You feel bad that you really haven't, you feel like your sins really haven't been forgiven, okay? And so praying through is that you pray through it. And he always said, when you go to pray through, take a pencil and a notepad with you.
Oh.
And every time you think of one of those thoughts, jot it down.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Then finally, when it's all empty, you say, well, thank you, devil, for reminding me. Now go talking to God.
That's a great message, man.
So you may want to think about that. But let me just say this is a little bit of a challenge to all of us, myself included.
Okay.
Take the test.
What test?
Be alone for 1 minute.
Okay.
And ask yourself, can you concentrate on God?
Oh, man.
And I'll tell you what this.
Okay.
I guarantee you can't.
Oh, it's hard, I know.
Okay, that shows you how cluttered everything has become.
Yes.
So what Dr. Anthony George is saying there is you gotta get past that. You're getting to the place of peace, thinking like God. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Actually, is one of the most challenging things you'll ever do as a Christian. And if you don't, if you don't figure out a way how to do that, you'll never really enjoy the fullness of God. I have to walk. I have to get out of here. I have to go walk around the airport. So I go out and look at airplanes or something. I had to turn the phone off and throw my cell phone against the wall and hope it breaks into 50 pieces. You know.
I know the deal.
But I have the joy of the Lord in doing that.
I like when he gets up and goes, where's the joy of the Lord?
There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right, good morning to you. 16 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. The president did address the nation last night. And I think basically this clip that we're going to show you, he does explain why he went after Iran. Okay. That is the big question. Why did you do this? I think he answers it with this clip.
This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America.
Well, that was the essence of the reason why the war. There is one other clip we'll play a little bit later on, but I want to say this in just an analysis. I don't think anything new in the speech last night. From what I watched, he didn't say anything that he hasn't been saying all along in the various news conferences, and when he's caught going outside the White House, maybe catching an airplane or something like that. But that particular clip there, he did explain. But there's several things there. He did show the people that they have killed. But, you know, folks, most recently, within the last several months, 45,000 of their own citizens were mowed down by their government. And where in the world is the United Nations?
Yeah, yes.
On any kind of condemning comments, none.
Nothing, yeah.
And they were protesting for a better life. Here in America, we have protests all over the place.
Yeah.
We don't mow them down.
No.
We may disagree with them, but we don't mow them down.
Right.
But 45,000 people lost their lives within the last couple of months. Are we so immune that that's no longer an issue within our own head? What regime on earth should be allowed to even exist when they do that? Okay, and you say, well, what about China? Well, China's done it too.
Yeah, right.
And most recently, they took 2 of their Olympic athletes and hung them publicly.
Publicly, yes.
So anyway, this is an evil regime. They're coming to the end of this. We keep hearing 2 to 3 week issues. Secretary of State Marco Rubio say the finish line is in sight. So they're saying all this stuff, but we don't know. And I think Newt Gingrich yesterday made an interesting comment. I don't see us withdrawing all of that military sitting out there off the coast overnight.
We're staying there, he says.
Yeah, we're there for a while.
Yeah, we're staying there. Yeah, I think
so. All right. In the meantime, we've got some more thing here. Iran. Remember now, got to remember the president yesterday announced, hey, they want a ceasefire. So we're talking. We don't know who's talking to who.
Right.
But in the meantime, Iran said yesterday the demands of Washington are irrational and denied any negotiations were underway on a ceasefire to end the war there in the Middle East. Iran's foreign minister said this.
We have had no direct negotiations with America so far. Since the last round of negotiations until now, the US demands have been very excessive, unrealistic, and illogical. The meetings that Pakistan has with neighboring countries are, well, a framework they themselves have established. We have not participated in this framework. Can it be allowed that Iran and Iranians be in a position of confronting the illegal aggression of America and the Zionist regime to use the available capabilities on the soil of regional countries while our armed forces remain silent? The duty of every authority demands that it respond to such cases with all its power.
All right, so who's talking to who?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, is he a pawn?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, something else happened yesterday. The president was the first president in the history of the United States to attend a oral arguments at the Supreme Court. He sat there just like one of the people in the audience listening to this.
Okay.
And the president renewed his criticism on the birthright citizenship. He said, we're the only country in the world that's stupid enough to allow birthright citizens, and we basically are. Okay, and birthright citizens has to do with babies of slaves, not Chinese billionaires. Okay, but in listening to the oral arguments yesterday, it didn't appear to me that this went anywhere.
No. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it didn't sound like the president was winning this argument because that basically the 14th Amendment said if you're born here, you become a citizen.
Right.
Now, the conditions to being born here are the argument.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and so is this going to be a congressional thing that they come up with a new amendment or something? So we'll see where this goes, but it's being abused. We all know that, greatly abused. And Jackson actually said this. If you are a tourist from another country here, you're entitled to birthright citizenship. How in the world can a Supreme Court justice say something as stupid as that?
Well, there's just another in a long line of stupid things that she's been saying.
But really, I looked at this and I thought, oh, this can't be right. So I went to a couple of things. And she's being quoted that if you are a tourist from another country, you come in here, you can declare birthright citizenship according to the 14th Amendment. Not that you were born here. You're just here on a tour.
Right.
You're just visiting.
Now, that's the same justice that yesterday said that that if it was up to her counselors could not give advice to transgender confused people about what the reality is of their condition and try and diagnose it. She would squelch the free speech rights of counselors, including Christian counselors, who would go directly against their faith. So she's off.
Yes, she is. She's the one. She was the vote one.
Yeah.
It was 8-1 on that.
Okay, as usual, yeah.
All right, well, Artemis 2 blasted off yesterday on their way to the moon.
Yes.
Up and away they went. It was a terrific thing to watch, to see all this again. Boy, it brings back memories, doesn't it?
It sure does.
When the Apollo thing was so active, and I still like to see the space shuttle. I thought the space shuttle was a cool thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's capable of going to the moon, though.
No, I don't think so.
And I have already logged into the tracking portion of NASA, and I'm having trouble with it. I'm having technical... Houston, we have a problem.
Hello, Houston.
We have a problem. So this is going to be cool because, you know, unlike the last time we went to the moon, this is going to be fun to experience this mission.
Well, I was really curious to see the inside of the capsule, and it's all computer screens now.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike a bunch of buttons, switches, and everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, off they go. By the way, it's a full moon tonight.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so when you go outside tonight, if there's no cloud, and you see that full moon, it was kind of bright last night, too. You look out there and you go, wow, to think those guys are on their way there.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
That is very
All right, those are the top stories on this Thursday, Thursday. We'll take a quick burrito break. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
Oh boy, we're a little late here. Sorry about all that. Let's get going. I just want to let you know that the national vote by mail fight is now on, and it certainly includes Oregon. We were the first state to have vote by mail.
Yeah.
And Senator Ron Wyden's running around saying, well, he was the first senator ever elected to Senate by vote by mail.
Well,
this is 25 years old.
Yeah.
So the question is, with the president's signed the executive order to create federal voting database and require the U.S. Postal Service to process mail-in ballots within the specialized envelopes and barcoded for tracking. We'll see how this is going to play out in this state. We don't know yet. Okay, let me just tell all of our viewers and listeners, let's see, today's the 3rd? Today's the 2nd.
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow, military and overseas ballots are mailed in the state of Oregon. April 20th, the out-of-state ballots are mailed. April 22nd through the 24th, voter pamphlets will be delivered. April 28th, the last day to register to vote or to change your political party. And May 1st, the ballots will be mailed out. And, of course, May 19th is Election Day. But listen to this. May 29th, the last day to receive valid postmarked ballots from the post office. June 9th, the last day to resolve challenges. And June 15th, the last day to certify an election. Only in the state of Oregon. We go from May clear into June.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course.
So, anyway, we'll see how this plays out. That's a problem. In the meantime, take a look at the satellite image. And that means it is...
nothing. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
We actually have a clearing trend coming our way. It's going to be a little cool today, 53 the high, but up into the 60s tomorrow with sunshine emerging. We're going to see mid-70s by Saturday, but are you ready for 78, bumping towards 80 on Easter Sunday?
Let's go for it.
Huh?
That's very good.
Not bad. Well, we have your friend coming up here. Yeah, you know, we heard Benjamin Netanyahu mention the president saying, nobody tells this president what to do. And that's in response to many who are saying that basically Netanyahu or the Israeli officials talked President Trump into participating in this war. Well, your buddy, Alan Dershowitz, spoke with Israel's I-24 News and spoke about the impact of the Iran war on American Jews and if he's worried about the report that Israel pressured America into the war.
To this.
No, I'm not worried about that. It's an obvious lie. Everybody who knows Donald Trump, I was his lawyer. I've known him for years. Nobody pushes Donald Trump into anything. Obviously, Prime Minister Netanyahu wanted the United States to take out Iran's nuclear missiles last year and again this year. That's what a prime minister should do. It's part of the job of the prime minister to pressure allies, if possible, into taking action that supports the interests of both countries. But the United States didn't push anybody into war. Look, the worst offenders, the worst people in America today are the self-hating Jews, the Jews who voted for Mamdani, the Jews who marched the Hamas, the Jews who are leaders at some American institutions. They are the worst of all. And the Jewish community is deeply divided. And you know, people forget that there were 10,000 Jews who voted for Adolf Hitler in 1832. So why be surprised if there were tens of thousands of Jews who voted for Mamdani and who would probably vote for somebody even worse than Mamdani? And there may be people like that on the ballot in 2028. So we have a problem in the Jewish community. Israelis tended to be united in favor of this war, not completely. But American Jews, no, they're more worried about a couple of $100 a year in extra gas prices than they are about securing the future of Israel against a nuclear Iran. Jews can be as selfish and as stupid as any other ethnic group in the country.
That's how you really feel.
Hey, Alan, have a nice day.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take an Alan Dershowitz break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris
Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
All right, let's go over to CBN News and get caught up on what's happening not only in the Middle East, but in particular some things now in Iraq as we check in with CBN News.
Senior international correspondent George Thomas is in Iraq, and he's here to help break it all down. George, thanks for being here as you talk about these Iranian militias, George. And we just saw some shocking news this week with an American journalist who was abducted in broad daylight and thrown into the back of a car. What's going on with that situation?
Yeah, so Shelley Kittleson, she is a freelance journalist, a veteran, my understanding, a veteran of the region. Some of the people that I know here say that they have worked with her, they have seen her in different environments in the region. But she was kidnapped last night in Baghdad, not too far from the green zone in the heart of Baghdad. And the reporting, at least from the US officials here in Iraq, they say that was kidnapped. There were two cars involved. The Iraqi security forces were in hot pursuit of one of the cars, was able to intercept the car. It got flipped, and several people in that car were injured. Unfortunately, it was not the car that Ms. Shelley was riding in, but they happened to apprehend one of the drivers, one of the passengers in that car that got flipped, and the U.S. Embassy is saying that this individual has ties to the Hezbollah-backed Iranian militia. They call themselves a Hataib Hezbollah, and they're in Arabic. It's called the Party of God. And in essence, this is a group of militia highly linked to the Iranian regime, and they've been basically fighting for an Islamic Iraq ruled by Sharia law. They want all of the U.S. forces and coalition forces out of this country, and they are in essence an arm of the Iranian regime. And if we don't find this lady soon enough, she will be the first IRGC American hostage, and hopefully the Iraqi folks can be able to find her whereabouts. The reporting is that just last night, or a few hours before she was kidnapped, the FBI, along with other intelligence services, had reached out to Miss Shelley to tell her, to warn her that this particular Hezbollah-linked group, Iranian-linked group, Iranian militia group, were targeting her, were attempting to kidnap her. They're notorious for kidnapping Americans and foreigners. She was warned, and apparently her security detail as well. The understanding is that she didn't necessarily, she thought that the threats were fake, didn't really take them seriously. And unfortunately, she got kidnapped. And today, the United States, along with the Iraqi government, are attempting to find her. But look, it speaks to a much bigger issue. Today, the Iraqi government has some very, very dangerous elements within its own security apparatus. These pro-Iranian militia groups, chief among them, they're just all over the place, and they are paid by the Iraqi government. And the U.S. has been targeting these pro-Iranian militia groups in the last 48 hours. But the Iraqi government, there's a lot of pressure on them to really crack down on these groups. Iraq has, like I mentioned, Iraq has been on the receiving end of both attacks from the Iranians as well as the Americans. And because Iraq and the Iraqi government is so closely aligned with the Iranian regime, it's, again, not a lot of attention has been paid on Iraq. And that's why I came here 3 weeks ago to do these stories. And here you have an American who has been kidnapped, and then all of these attacks. Absolutely. And, there's one date that is absolutely in the president's mind, and that is the midterm elections in November. And he wants to have this wrapped up before then and give himself some time, by the end of mid-April, maybe into May, and then have all of May, June, July, August, September, and October to be rallying the base so that he doesn't lose any more seats, both in the House and the Senate. But I say that to tell you, the Iranians inside the country are very concerned that the president will basically just drop them like a bad habit. And we hope and pray that that's not the case. Obviously, the Netanyahu government in Israel wants a regime change today. The president says, well, we've had a regime change. The group of people that we're dealing with today are not the top tier, nor the second tier, nor the third tier. These are folks that we've never dealt with. That's not regime change in the minds of the Iranians that I've spoken to over and over again. They want to see a complete regime change, a new leadership, a new system of governance. And so the worry is that if, in fact, the president is wrapping up the military operations vis-a-vis Iran and basically washing his hands of the whole situation, that will not be good news for the people inside. And all indications are that if the regime is not removed, it'll be a bloodbath. They will take revenge on all those protesters, tens of thousands of protesters over the months that have taken to the streets. I mean, we just heard this week, 1,600 Iranians are facing potential execution. They were arrested with no due process, and thousands more are languishing in the prisons inside of Iran. And so it's going to be heartbreaking. We'll have to wait and see. But the Iranian street is hoping and praying that President Trump will continue this operation that would eventually lead to the complete collapse and the removal of the Islamic regime.
Well, I think now it's becoming clear what the president has done here is make room for complete removal of the regime. That's become clear. All right, here's the guy that never needs to be removed.
Yeah, I hope not.
Hope not.
Here's your forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly before 2 p.m. and then some sun breaks in the afternoon with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Across the Willamette Valley, it stays cloudy, cool, and wet. Salem reaches a high of 56, while Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene all top out near 55, with conditions beginning to improve later toward evening. In central Oregon, a chance of rain and snow in upper 40s in Prineville. Snow likely for Bend and Sun River with highs in the low to mid 40s. Scattered rain and snow in Boise in upper 40s. Along the Oregon coast, showers and possibly thunderstorms, then clearing with highs in the mid-50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Rain continues for Brookings with a high near 51 and Crescent City, California near 54. In southern Oregon, rain mixed with snow in spots this morning in the Rogue Valley, then mostly cloudy in mid-50s for Grants Pass and Medford and 49 in Ashland. Snow in Klamath Falls and highs in the mid-40s. Into Northern California, a chance of rain and snow in Wairika with a high near 52. Sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime high temperatures in the mid-60s and lows in the 40s. Sunshine returns across the Bay Area with daytime highs in the mid-60s for Santa Rosa and Napa through San Francisco and down to San Jose with a northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 18. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Okay, well, we got a little bit of a drip on the lens there this morning, so we'll see how it goes. But slowly, it's improving. It looks good out there.
Well, in the history of television, especially television dramas, daytime TV took off in the 50s in a way that I think a lot of people didn't expect. In fact, those daytime dramas were so popular that on this day in history, television took a dramatic turn into prime time.
Oh.
On April 2nd, 1978, Dallas premiered on CBS as a 5-part miniseries, but it didn't stay small for long. Starring Larry Hagman and Barbara Bel Geddes, the show followed the powerful and often ruthless Ewing family and their Texas oil empire. Audiences were hooked. Filled with betrayal, romance, and jaw-dropping cliffhangers, Dallas helped bring soap opera storytelling into prime time and changed TV forever. And of course, there was the question that stopped a nation. Who shot JR? More than 80 million viewers tuned in for the answer, making it one of the most watched moments in television history. The show would go on to run for 13 seasons, winning multiple Emmy Awards and setting the standard for nighttime drama. From the oil fields of Texas to living rooms across America, Dallas proved that drama doesn't clock out after daytime.
Dallas!
Oops, Dallas.
Who shot JR?
Who shot JR? Yeah, they were known for their cliffhangers. People were talking about it at the water cooler
actually,
like
you know,
crazy.
it worked.
It actually worked, yes.
I don't know why they didn't bring it back.
Yeah, well, you know, it went for, what, 13 years?
Well, they do have one now that's replaced it.
Yes.
Yellowstone. Really?
And now that's done.
Yeah, but I think they're going to get some feeds off down. Now
they have a lot of feeds off.
Now
of
they
it.
got like the J Bar 693 Ranch. You know, they got all these cowboy things out there.
Yeah, and
they got the Burrito Ranch.
Right, and the guy that writes that is a guy named Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
And Taylor Sheridan has got a multitude of spin-offs right now.
Yeah.
And I think the left is just, they don't know how to take him because he is not a left-winger, woker kind of guy.
Yeah.
And that comes out in his scripts. Now this is gritty reality. This is the kind of stuff that never used to appear on TV. So if you are a little bit, squeamish about such things, be careful.
Okay.
Especially watch it, don't let your kids watch.
All right.
It's a little too real.
Let's check back in with PragerU, Will Witt there. He goes to Cal State LA and asks students about their opinion on Cesar Chavez.
Oh.
You know who Cesar Chavez is?
I'm not too familiar, no. I've heard of him, though, yeah.
Okay.
He had an important role in the Mexican or Hispanic community.
He boycotted and raised farms and for wages, but I'm not really that informed.
He's pretty cool. I live near the street, Cesar Chavez.
You heard of Si Se Puede?
Yes.
Yes, we can. So he was like a Hispanic hero to the community, right? Have you ever heard other people talking about him in like a heroic way?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Is your outlook on Cesar Chavez positive, negative, mixed? Positive.
He seemed like a very inspirational role model.
So Cesar Chavez Day is coming up. Or will you be celebrating?
Yes, I will.
Yes.
Will be, yeah.
Why is that?
To honor his achievements in life.
Do you know what Cesar Chavez thought about illegal immigration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you?
No. Not too specifically, but I do know his cause and his rights, like what he wanted to do for the community. I'm sure he was pro.
He was actually anti-illegal immigration.
Did he come here illegally or?
He was legal. Are you pro or against illegal immigration?
Against? Wait.
Against illegal immigration.
Well, I'm against, yeah. Is that what that is? Yeah, right?
Like, do you want people crossing over the border illegally?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's more important as an American to care about the lives of American citizens or foreign citizens?
I would say foreign citizens because they kind of come here out of like bravery.
You said your mom came here legally, right? She didn't cut in line. But if someone came in here illegally and made her wages go down, made it harder for her to work, do you think that that's tough? It's not a good idea?
Honestly, I don't really think it's so. I think it's okay.
Do you think that that's fair that they get the job over you?
I wouldn't mind it, especially because I have the privilege of growing up here. And
But then you wouldn't have a job.
yeah, but what if they're in a more dire need of needing a job than I do?
Do you think that's fair of this right?
Do you think it's fair?
I don't think it's fair, no.
I think everyone should be protected equally, but yeah.
Would you protect me?
Sure.
So Cesar Chavez himself, he did all these things for Mexicans and Hispanics in this country, for legal people in this country, but he also hated illegal immigration. So he would go down to the border and beat up Mexicans and call them wetbacks for coming into this country illegally.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's news.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even know that. It's just like really surprising. Yeah.
Kind of mean.
Yeah, it is a little bit mean.
I didn't know he did that actually, I don't think.
Most people don't know that he did that.
Oh,
We don't celebrate that on his day.
oh shoot, yeah,
Reality tastes a little different than their fantasy, doesn't it?
Well, parents, this is what your $30,000 a year college education's getting you.
You got it. Yes.
We're going to take a 10-cent break. We'll be right back.
He's got the whole world in his hands, and he knows the plans for us. Above and beyond we could ask or imagine, his grace is more than enough. It's in his hands, it's in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Come on, Steve. Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why at Kelly's, it's automotive service with a heart for God, and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
All right, welcome back. 8 minutes before the hour. This is Passion Week, Holy Week on the Western calendar, celebrating and looking at and considering what happened this week with the life of Christ, from the triumphal entry on Sunday to Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday was kind of a quiet day. Today is when they go into the upper room for the Last Supper, followed by all 12 of them basically walking away from him. And then tomorrow's Good Friday. So I had Professor Dr. Rick Boya with us. He's head of the theological seminary, theological department, of Pacific Bible College. And I asked him, so what's going on behind the scenes with the Pharisees? And here's what he had to say.
Well, we know from the scriptures that they were trying to figure out a way to get rid of him.
They were furious.
Yes, oh, they were absolutely furious. And they saw him as a threat to the political stability of their relationship with Rome, which was always a little bit on edge. And a messianic figure would be perceived as a threat to Roman power, and they were afraid that the Romans would come in and destroy their nation. And plus the fact that they absolutely didn't believe anything Jesus was saying. They didn't believe in him, they didn't trust him whatsoever. They saw him as a false prophet, and a dangerous false prophet. So this is what they had been doing all along. And he deliberately pokes the bear in that week. In that week, he knew he had to be crucified at Passover. So he deliberately lets the heat rise and rise and rise. Monday, Tuesday, he does more healings. Wednesday is a quiet day, and he stays in Bethany with his friends, but that's when it's on that day that Judas goes and makes his deal.
Makes his deal.
And then Thursday, they prepare for the Passover. Friday, he's crucified. So it's all under God's providence. I mean, using the human unbelief, believe it or not. Acts chapter 2, verse 23, Peter says, God ordained this entire operation in order to save us. So using the human unbelief, Jesus deliberately moves toward the cross, knowing that by Friday they would be crying, crucify, crucify, but that was the plan. I think it is incumbent upon us as Christians to slow down and think of things above. You know, Paul said, you have died and your life is hidden with Christ, and God said, don't look for your life here. He says this in Colossians 3. And we never should tire of the stunning realities of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And sometimes we have to sit down, stop thinking about the politics of our world for a minute, and consider the reality, the stunning reality of who Jesus Christ really is, what he did do for us, and what he's currently doing, because it's his Holy Spirit drawing people and continuing to deepen the kingdom of God. So yeah, I think that that's what we're about, Perry. I mean, we remind people of these things.
Right.
And
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Well, you may want to go to theDove.us and go down to the Focus Today page and watch that whole interview with him. He gives really a very good rundown of what happened this week, better known as Passion Week, and how Jesus responded to things which he himself was setting up the reason for his own crucifixion.
Absolutely,
He was setting it up. He was setting him up so that the Pharisees got so ticked off at him they were going to kill him.
Rick said it well there. He was poking the bear.
He was poking the bear.
Yes.
So anyway, check it out. Take this scripture with you today. It's a good one for you. Isaiah 41, verse 10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God, and I will strengthen you and help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Put that on your refrigerator this morning. Isaiah 41, verse 10.
All right.
With a burrito.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
In a world desperately seeking truth, Cliff Connectley and his son Stuart travel across the U.S. to give an answer for questions, doubts, and challenges concerning faith.
What is the evidence that Muhammad spoke the truth? What is the evidence that Jesus Christ spoke the truth?
Their mission is to ignite a passion for truth, guide individuals to embrace faith, and help people find purpose, engaging skeptics.
It kind of sounds like then that God punished us. The vast majority of chaos in nature is a direct result of God's stepping back.
They're driven by a deep commitment for spreading the message of Christ to a world who needs it.
But you see, what Satan has done is he's put doubt in our mind.
Join them as they strive to make a lasting impact on lives and hearts, sharing the love of Jesus with an unwavering dedication.
Because God loves you, and God has given you gifts.
Watch Give Me an Answer, weekdays at 3 on the Dove TV. Hunters, where the true target is the truth of the gospel. Watch Twin Factor Wednesdays and weekends on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Thursday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is the captain of Artemis 9 right here. Mr. Jerry Bilden.
Checking in, yes.
And we'll let you know when he goes to orbit. It could be within the next couple of weeks.
That's right, yeah.
We'll call it the medical orbit.
I never thought of it like that, but yeah, it could be true. It could
He'll be circling something. Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. This is a big day in Passion Week.
Yeah.
This is the disciples prepare for Passover, and then they have the Last Supper was on Thursday. And then following, just within a short time after the Last Supper was when they all walked away from Christ.
Yeah.
And then there's this unbelievable prayer of Jesus found in Matthew, and Mark both recorded the prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane. If possible, Father, can this cup pass from me?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the times that Jesus talked about the Father, he used the term Father, except when he was on the cross. And he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?
That's right.
Kind of interesting dynamics today. So some churches do recognize this day, and they have special services. I guess you guys will have one tonight. I know our church does. And they have a what they call a tenebrae service, where sometimes it's done with candles. It's very effective. And then they have like 12 candles up there. And they slowly sniffed one out as each disciple left him. And the only candle left is the Christ candle, and it's usually put behind a cross.
Okay.
So when you see it in a dark room,
oh, how dramatic.
the silhouette of the cross is up on the wall.
All right.
Yeah, it's very dramatic.
Yeah.
So anyway, today is Maundy, Thursday in the Holy Week. This is, of course, on the Western calendar. Eastern calendar, their Palm Sunday is this coming Sunday. So we're about a week apart between the two calendars this year. Anyway, good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. The big rocket.
Yeah, Artemis 2 took off. We're going to the moon. Here we go.
Yeah, I think NASA's out of cheese.
It's time to go back.
Time to go back.
That's good.
50 years later, we got to get back down there and get some cheese.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Absolutely.
What do you got, man?
All right. Well, if you got any do-it-yourself projects going on, it is your day. It's DIY day.
Right.
Do it yourself. And of course, what would we do these days without YouTube DIY videos?
Oh boy.
Anything I want to do. In fact, I couldn't change a turn signal on my car because I couldn't find out how to get in it until I went to YouTube. And you would have never found the door. I don't care. These engineers, they make things like you can't even find the tab to open the door to get in to pull the plug until you go to YouTube. You go in there, and a guy goes
the interweb, they call it.
Yeah, the interweb. Yeah.
So, how many worship leaders does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh gosh, I don't know how many.
One to hold the bulb and 5 to turn the room.
And then another one on the side say, "Are you sure we want to do it in this key?"
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Oh, okay. It's also National Reconciliation Day, urging us to repair relationships that have been damaged through words and or actions, and they usually go together. So if there's something right on the front of your mind, someone by all means, try to reconcile today.
All right.
It's also, I don't know how we go from reconciliation to this, but it is National Ferret Day.
Ah.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, male ferrets are called Hobbs, female ferrets are called Jills, their offspring are called Kits, and the whole family is called a business.
A business?
Yeah, so the business is ferrets. Okay, so that's cool. They are carnivores. They are part of the family that includes the otter, badger, weasel, marten, mink, and wolverine. Now, I know that some people keep ferrets as household pets. My only response to that is, do you want to keep a cousin of a wolverine in your house?
Better than a rat.
Oh, well, that's true.
And I'm glad they aren't part of the family of the rat, because at times they can look like one.
Yeah, that's,
you know.
Yeah.
By the way, I guess they were on the ark. I asked John Mittendorf the other day if snakes were on the ark.
What did John say?
Well, he said something about it had to have a backbone or something like that, or some kind of a spine or something.
Yeah.
And so I thought, So guess what I did?
What?
I read the Bible.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it said one of every kind and creepy things.
And creepy things, and that includes
creepy critters.
Creepy critters. That's spiders too, right?
Well, that would be wherever that was in those times. Yeah.
I'll be darned. Yes.
There's no snakes in New Zealand, so I don't know if the ark pushed off from down there. Well, actually, New Zealand is a result of the flood, so that would be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there was a flood.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you read that carefully, it says it was above all mountains.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's pretty clear what it says.
Yes.
But anyway, I was curious about the snake thing. You know, there's only two things I was just going to ask the Lord when I get to heaven: why snakes and why mosquitoes?
Why?
and make it even more confusing.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve talked to snakes.
Yes, they did.
And snakes walked.
That's right.
How do you explain that?
Yeah. How do you? Well, what? Yeah.
So was it verbal or was it?
Or was it
kind of like
spirit-led?
Intuition, or what was it?
Yeah, because when you read about it, it really sounds like a verbal conversation went on.
They're having a conversation, and then after the Lord cursed the snake, and then he fell on his belly.
Right.
He said, "You're going to spend the rest of the day crawling around on the ground."
Right.
So there's some mysteries in the Bible.
Yes.
Anyway, so much for all that stuff.
Oh my goodness, that was pretty good. I hate to move on to this one.
Yeah.
Well, almost, but it is National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day.
Ooh.
Yes. And of course, the average American will have eaten over 2,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches by the time you graduate from high school. I don't know why that's the line, but
it's its own food group here.
It is its own food group, and obviously it is a childhood favorite. You know, we love peanut butter and jelly, but you know, some of us keep eating it into adult life.
Bananas on it. Or mayonnaise?
I've never done it with peanut butter jelly. I've done it with just peanut butter, and I have not done the mayo thing, and I love mayo.
Well, my dad did the peanut butter, mayo, and banana thing.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
And I'm still trying to figure out why he did that. I don't know if it was a torture or it was a fun thing for him to watch us react. I'm going to have fun with my kids. Here, have one of those.
Oh, Dad. Well, you can either have that or this, and this is a good one to key in on because it's National Burrito Day.
Yahoo.
Yeah. A burrito is a heavy tortilla wrapped around meat, cheese, tomato, rice, beans, vegetables, and sauces. And like many other tortilla dishes, the burrito is flexible, and the cook chooses the meat fillings from ground beef, shredded chicken, shredded beef, or shredded pork. And the same applies to bean choices, often ranging from black, red, whole, or refried beans. And you know, so there are a lot of variables in a burrito. And did you know the word burrito translates literally to little donkey in Spanish? And the name likely comes from the way that these wrapped tortillas resemble the packs that donkeys would carry.
Burros.
Yeah, burros, yeah. So those little donkeys, burritos. That's what we have here. And of course, we have added to the traditional burrito because we in this country invented the breakfast burrito, filled with eggs, bacon, potatoes, said to have originated in Santa Fe, Mexico during the 1970s. I love breakfast burritos. I like them even more with a little less potatoes in them.
Yeah, a few, but mostly eggs and bacon.
Yeah, eggs, bacon, yes.
Yeah.
But, and of course, what can you ever find wrong with a traditional burrito? It's a meal in itself.
Well, have you ever seen these big ones?
Yes, I've eaten those big ones.
They're like this?
Yes. You can eat that whole thing and you can take part of it home. No, hang on. Give me a minute.
He hides burritos around here.
He was just walking through here with one.
And I said that one was left over from the Spanish-American War.
Yes.
They're in drawers. They're in the freezer. They're in the refrigerator. You know, he hides them around.
Scott's
burrito
stash. Yeah.
Hide and seek burrito.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
that's all I got.
So burritos, what? Little burro?
Burrito, yeah. Little donkey. Little donkey. Oh, no. No.
Well, I'm not calling you a little donkey.
But Pam?
That could indicate your philosophical persuasion.
What?
A donkey.
And how does that translate to a philosophical persuasion? Or
well, that would put you on the left side of the aisle.
Oh, well, that would be. Can you say this? What's the other word for a donkey?
Yeah, well,
I don't want to be that.
Don't go there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here's Pam's burrito.
Here's your forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly before 2 p.m. and then some sun breaks in the afternoon with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Across the Willamette Valley, it stays cloudy, cool, and wet. Salem reaches a high of 56, while Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene all top out near 55, with conditions beginning to improve later toward evening. In central Oregon, a chance of rain and snow in upper 40s in Prineville. Snow likely for Bend and Sun River with highs in the low to mid 40s. Scattered rain and snow in Boise in upper 40s. Along the Oregon coast, showers and possibly thunderstorms, then clearing with highs in the mid 50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Rain continues for Brookings with a high near 51 and Crescent City, California near 54. In southern Oregon, rain mixed with snow in spots this morning in the Rogue Valley, then mostly cloudy in mid-50s for Grants Pass and Medford and 49 in Ashland. Snow in Klamath Falls and highs in the mid-40s. Into northern California, a chance of rain and snow in Wairika with a high near 52. Sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime high temperatures in the mid-60s and lows in the 40s. Sunshine returns across the Bay Area with daytime highs in the mid-60s for Santa Rosa and Napa through San Francisco and down to San Jose with a northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 18. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot. A little leftover clouds, a few sprinkles this morning. That'll slowly give way to sunshine, warm days, but I will say this. Tonight and tomorrow night could get down close to freezing.
Yeah, and there might be, I'm not going to say there's going to be any snow flurries, but if precipitation comes our way, it could. Yeah, it could.
Coulds a word.
All right. Well, yeah, could is. Yeah, could, possible, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
A whole bunch of them. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have all been in our lives, we have found our need for encouragement. And we know people in our lives, too, that presses on us that we know they're looking for an encouragement as well. And here with a great deal of it is Dr. Anthony George.
And if there is something that grieves me to my core, it is looking into the eyes of someone and seeing hopelessness in their eyes. That's a dangerous place for people to be in life when they feel there is no hope. And I felt that looking into his eyes, and I just very instinctively reached out, took both of his hands and squeezed them, and I said, look at me. God is on his throne, and he will make a way. Trust me, he will make a way. With God in your life, you always have a reason to hope. And we had prayer together, and he let me know this week that God is still speaking to his life. But folks, I'm telling you, I believe that with all of my heart. There is nothing too difficult for God. There is nothing impossible for God. God can do whatever God chooses to do in your life. So don't you ever get to a place where you're wondering if there's still hope for your life. Yes, there's hope for your life. God is on his throne. God is alive and well. And God can do whatever it is he chooses to do. It's just a matter of what pleases him. But let's be big enough and bold enough to ask him, to trust him for it. So when it comes to our worship should be enthusiastic. It should be filled with gratitude. Our worship must be biblical, informed by and bound by what Scripture teaches about God, His character, His ways. But with God in our view, our worship must always be filled with a sense of awe and wonder. I stand in awe of you, O holy God. This is our worship of Him.
Dr. Anthony George, such great passion. Wonderful stuff. All right, let's take a look at the top stories here at 14 minutes now past the hour on this Thursday, better known as Maundy Thursday on this Holy Week. The President did deliver a primetime national address last night to inform America about what's going on with Iran. And a couple of clips, but this one talks about they will complete the job, and here's what he had to say.
I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job," every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history.
Okay, so some of the speech, I will say this, I watched the whole thing last night. The only thing I can say, and I don't mean this as a criticism, I really don't think there was anything new there. He basically put into a full speech everything he says when he is confronted with the press. So in the meantime, here's the problem. Supposedly we gave 48 hours, then we gave 5 days, and we're talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden they asked us for a ceasefire. Well, who's he talking to?
Exactly.
Because in the meantime, Iran's foreign minister comes out and says, no, we're not talking, and what they're demanding is irrational, we're not for it. Here's what he had to say.
We have had no direct negotiations with America so far. Since the last round of negotiations until now, the US demands have been very excessive, unrealistic, and illogical. The meetings that Pakistan has with neighboring countries are, well, a framework they themselves have established. We have not participated in this framework. Can it be allowed that Iran and Iranians be in a position of confronting the illegal aggression of America and the Zionist regime to use the available capabilities on the soil of regional countries while our armed forces remain silent? The duty of every authority demands that it respond to such cases with all its power.
Well, listen, who has the history of lying here?
Well, we know that.
Okay, so you got a foreign minister out there coming out saying anything, and I think we have to go back to our good friend Kenneth Abramowitz, who's really an expert on all this, and he calls them a death cult. And a death cult mentality is you die.
Right.
You go down with it.
Well, look what they did to the people on the streets.
Yeah,
Yes.
they killed their own people,
Yes.
45,000 of their own people, which is staggering in itself. But the point being is you can't trust these guys. They're just lying. So in the meantime, another first yesterday, not only did we go back to the moon with Artemis 2, the president had nothing to do, so he decided he'd go over and sit in the Supreme Court and listen to arguments on birthright. First president ever to go over there and sit down and hear the arguments. And the arguments was a challenge against his own executive order. And so he sat there and listened to the arguments to all of the 12 justices, which is interesting. And the president said, look, we are a country, we're the only country in the world that's stupid enough to allow birthright citizenship. Now, birthright citizenship, primarily 14th Amendment I'm talking about here, was put into place for babies of slaves, okay? If you're born here, you're automatically naturalized here, okay? Right. That's been abused because billionaires from China and other countries are sending pregnant women in here to have their babies, to go home and be propagandized and then sent back to be citizens of this country and vote accordingly.
Yes.
This is an underground coup that's going on.
Yes.
Anyway, I listened to some of the arguments. It's really interesting if you want to. If you suffer from insomnia, listen to this stuff. Anyway, the point being is, I left thinking, I don't think this is going to pass.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's going to have to be addressed through Congress.
Yes.
So that's where that's going.
Yeah.
In the meantime, there they went. Artemis 2, full of 4 astronauts, 3 Americans, 1 Canadian. Yesterday, and a 32-story rocket rose from the ground, and away they went. Wow. Why is NASA going back to the moon? They're out of cheese.
Yeah, it took a while, too. 1972 was the last time we brought some back.
Yeah. So, so they're actually going up there looking for landing sites.
Them back and forth, and it will. I mean, this is even bigger than what Apollo blasted off with.
Right.
So this is something, and it's going to be interesting to watch. And unlike the Apollo program, we have hackers and stuff. You know, technology is really advanced, so we get to participate. Fun. Reference glass before.
Off they go. Now they're still in Earth orbit climbing, but they're due to punch out when sometime within the next couple hours.
Yeah, they're ready to take flight.
Okay,
and,
they're 43,000 miles up at the moment.
Yep.
But the distance between where they are and where they're going is 248,000 miles.
Yeah.
And they're going to go to the moon, circle around. By the way, folks, it's full moon tonight.
Yeah.
So you may want to go outside and see if you can see something buzzing around up there.
If you see a little dot going across the moon, it's a bird right above your trees.
Well, there you go. Anyway, this is kind of exciting to see that happen. I'm glad we're back into space again.
Yes.
I would like to see the shuttle come back. All right, here, one quick question.
Okay, all right.
They renamed these projects. What's Artemis mean?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Artemis, yeah.
We went from Apollo to Artemis. We went from, what are some of the previous names?
Gemini, Mercury. Yeah, and I'm going to find out what Artemis means. You know what I remember? Some people will remember this too. There was a TV show on Artemis Gordon was one of the characters, and it was, oh God, Bob Conrad was. I'll look it up. But Artemis. I know it's significant.
Okay.
We'll find out what it is.
Okay, so we're in the Artemis series, right? I would like to see the shuttle. Someday will we send a shuttle up there?
No, I don't think the shuttle program is dead, and the shuttle did not have the ability to get to the moon.
No, I know that, but I wonder if we can get a new one.
Oh, hey, we are.
I can't help but think that Elon's over there going.
No. We have a shuttle. It's flying right now.
Yeah.
It's top secret and it's unmanned.
Oh, yes. I've seen the pictures of it.
Oh yes, but we have a shuttle. It's not dead. Yeah, it's circling right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Jose Imanes on it?
Huh?
Is Jose Imanes? Is he flying it? Remember him?
Yes, I remember Jose.
Yeah.
My name
is Jose Imanes. I wanted to go to the moon, and here's my burrito. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
How y'all doing out there? Just a little bit of a backyard news. Oregon is now wrestling. What are we going to do with the national vote by mail fight that's ahead? Because the president well, let me say, people certifying votes in the state of Oregon, because we were the first mail-in ballot state.
To go along with the first sanctuary state.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we have a number of firsts, don't we?
Yeah, they're wonderful ones. Anyway, we're not sure how this all means, what it means, but the president has signed an executive order to create federal voter database and require the U.S. Postal Service to process mail-in ballots with specialized envelopes with barcodes for tracking.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what this means to Oregon yet. They're trying to figure this out. As you know, we are vote by mail. Senator Ron Wyden, one of his stump speeches is that he was the first U.S. president elected by mail-in ballots.
Okay.
Not president, excuse me, senator.
Oh,
U.S. senator.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, we're grappling with this. Now, let me just tell you a little bit, give you some dates here for you can kind of get your head around this, okay?
Okay.
Today, military and overseas ballots will be mailed out. Tomorrow, April 20th, out-of-state ballots will be mailed out. The 22nd through the 24th, our voter pamphlets will be delivered in Oregon. Okay. 28th, April 28th, the last day to register to vote or change your political party, or if your name has changed or you moved and you don't know, you got until April 28th if you want to vote in the May primary.
Okay.
May 1st, the ballots will be mailed to the voters. May 19th, Election Day. May 26th, the last day to receive a valid postmarked ballot from the post office. That could be the problem right there. Okay. June 9th. Now, remember, our primary is May 19th. June 9th is the last day to resolve challenges to the ballots, and June 15th is the last day to certify the election. That's Oregon.
That is.
All you have to do is say, folks, if your ballot isn't in the your voting county voting office, clerk's office, on the day of the election, sorry, it doesn't get counted.
You know what? I like the KISS method. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I like to go there, say, here's my ID.
Yeah.
Yes, this is me. Where's the booth? Okay, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to vote. We're done.
Can I borrow your ID? I guess I can.
Good luck with that. And speaking, by the way, we backed up. Some people out there, I'm sure, are trying to get the Artemis thing.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
they've
yeah.
already looked it up. We know what Artemis is. Artemis comes out of Greek mythology, and it all makes sense. This connects the doc. Artemis was the goddess of the moon and the twin sister of Apollo.
Oh.
Yes. So there you go.
So we got Apollo.
Enough on Artemis. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's check in with a guy that's, you know, he's kind of out there.
Wait.
He has,
We're doing stocks, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That guy.
Yeah, Preston.
I thought you were setting me up.
No, Preston was smart.
Sorry about that, man.
No, Preston was smart line. He's kind of out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Dow's not happy this morning. The Dow's down 423. The Nas is down 263. And the S&P, which drives everything, down about 55. So
did they not like Trump's speech?
I don't think he said anything new.
Yeah.
You know. He didn't give any hope that it was going to end Friday.
Right, that's true.
Okay, so gold's down 40 to 4,066. Silver's at 71.31. Look at that. We went from $100 to 108.57 in one day. We went up $8.50.
Yeah.
He better get this war behind him real quick, buddy. Okay.
All right, well, here's an interesting topic. We know that in this country there is a history of the voting bloc of Jewish Americans who vote Democrat. And we also know, and that's in the vast majority, we also know that probably the most, well, undoubtedly, the most anti-Semitic party in this country are Democrats. The people out protesting, you know, for the Gaza and Palestine, they're all Democrats. So with that in mind, we've seen some defections, notably Alan Dershowitz.
Yeah.
And recently, Alan Dershowitz spoke with Israel's I-24 News, and he was asked if other Jewish Americans have followed him in leaving the Democrat Party. And here's his answer.
Absolutely. Now, I haven't become a Republican because I don't support the Republican views on abortion, on immigration, on a range of other issues, but I'm no longer a Democrat. I am an anti-Democrat. I will work very hard to see the Democrats lose the midterm election and lose the 2028 election. I do not want Elizabeth Warren, who is viciously anti-Israel. I don't want to see Senator Murphy, who's viciously anti-Israel. I don't want to see Senator Booker, who says he wouldn't even support President Trump in making peace because he won't support anything that President Trump does. I don't want to see those anti-Israeli, some of them anti-Semitic, some of them anti-American people who would prefer to see Trump lose than America win. I will not support them. I don't want to see them as chairmen and chairwomen of congressional committees. I feel safer today with Republicans in charge than I do with Democrats in charge, though I won't join their party at least not at this point.
Wow.
Okay. I just got something. I'm interviewing somebody a little bit later on today, and he said something that I needed to hear that so I can ask the right question.
Okay.
So he's not a Republican because why?
It's his views on, first thing that came out was abortion, wasn't
right,
it? Right,
okay.
Yeah.
And immigration.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah, I would love to know, because he hasn't really been a proponent of illegal immigration. So I wonder what his problem is. Yeah, that's...
I don't know, but anyway, so he's an independent. By the way, independent is the largest voting bloc in America right now.
Isn't it?
And
yes.
I think you need to understand.
And growing.
And growing.
Yes.
Because the party politics on the left and right has just got a lot of people upset and they don't want anything to do with it. And I understand that.
Right.
But the danger of the independent thing is the nullification of primaries. And if you go to open primaries like California's, you get the California mess.
Right.
And so, anyway, that's
isn't it interesting though that he said he's not ready to join the Republican Party, but he trusts Republicans running the country more than Democrats.
Yeah.
That's very telling.
Yeah.
You know,
he's in progress.
I think so, yes.
He's in progress.
Yeah, sounds like it.
All right. We don't want to do away with the two-party system, and we don't want a three-party system.
No.
So somewhere in the middle, these people and the two people running, or the groups that are running these two organizations, they need to cool their jets and get their act back together.
Yeah.
And but from what I understand, I could be wrong, and a lot of times I am, that the the people in the independent lean more right than left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see where it goes.
well,
At least that's what I see. And
well,
what I
it
understand.
certainly played out that way in the last election cycle, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
All right, so burrito break. We'll be right back.
We're in a very holy time of the year. We think in terms of a deliverance.
This is where she washes the dishes.
If you're ever going to allow your Christian faith to rise and to do something for God's chosen people, now is the time. This is the home of Galena. She's 96 years old.
This is what she had to eat for today.
She has one pot with water and wheat.
My father was killed by the Nazis, and I was an orphan. I didn't know about God. But now, in the cold, hungry nights, I pray for food to the God I've never known. There are good people that love you.
You see the tears. Scripture says joy can come in the morning, and you can be the reason.
This Passover, if you will bless these hurting children of Israel, you will receive God's blessing in return. Your urgent gift today of $25 will help rush a survival food box filled with life-saving essentials and matzah for the Passover Holy Day. Call, scan, or go online now.
I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, I don't know how much longer she could have waited for us to come.
I can't even grow my food anymore. What will happen to me? I'm doomed to starve.
Tens of thousands of elderly Holocaust survivors in the former Soviet Union are living in extreme poverty, hungry, and forgotten. But through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, we can bring them hope.
Eggs. It's my favorite food. May you be blessed.
You say to them, we see you and we're here to help.
Please don't delay. Call, scan, or go online now.
Okay, well, let's check in with CBN News. They'll give us the latest of what's going on in the Middle East from their perspective. They do have a great team over there throughout the entire area. And so let's check in with CBN News and get caught up.
Senior international correspondent George Thomas is in Iraq, and he's here to help break it all down. George, thanks for being here as you talk about these Iranian militias, George. And we just saw some shocking news this week with an American journalist who was abducted in broad daylight and thrown into the back of a car. What's going on with that situation?
Yeah, so Shelley Kittleson, she is a freelance journalist, a veteran, my understanding, a veteran of the region. Some of the people that I know here say that they have worked with her and they've seen her in different environments in the region. But she was kidnapped last night in Baghdad, not too far from the green zone in the heart of Baghdad. And the reporting, at least from the US officials here in Iraq, they say that was kidnapped. There were two cars involved. The Iraqi security forces were in hot pursuit of one of the cars, was able to intercept the car. It got flipped, and several people in that car were injured. Unfortunately, it was not the car that Ms. Shelley was riding in, but they happened to apprehend one of the drivers, one of the passengers in that car that got flipped, and the U.S. Embassy is saying that this individual has ties to the Hezbollah-backed Iranian militia. They call themselves a Hataib Hezbollah, and they're in Arabic. It's called the Party of God. And in essence, this is a group of militia highly linked to the Iranian regime, and they've been basically fighting for an Islamic Iraq ruled by Sharia law. They want all of the U.S. forces and coalition forces out of this country, and they are in essence an arm of the Iranian regime. And if we don't find this lady soon enough, she will be the first IRGC American hostage. And hopefully the Iraqi folks can be able to find her whereabouts. The reporting is that just last night, or a few hours before she was kidnapped, the FBI, along with other intelligence services, had reached out to Miss Shelley to tell her, to warn her that this particular Hezbollah-linked group, Iranian-linked group, pro-Iranian militia group, were targeting her, were attempting to kidnap her. They're notorious for kidnapping Americans and foreigners. She was warned, and apparently her security detail as well. The understanding is that she didn't necessarily, she thought that the threats were fake, didn't really take them seriously. And unfortunately, she got kidnapped. And today, the United States, along with the Iraqi government, are attempting to find her. But look, it speaks to a much bigger issue. Today, the Iraqi government has some very, very dangerous elements within its own security apparatus, these pro-Iranian militia groups, chief among them, they're just all over the place, and they are paid by the Iraqi government, and the U.S. has been targeting these pro-Iranian militia groups in the last 24, 48 hours. But the Iraqi government, there's a lot of pressure on them to really crack down on these groups. Iraq has, like I mentioned, Iraq has been on the receiving end of both attacks from the Iranians as well as the Americans. And because Iraq and the Iraqi government is so closely aligned with the Iranian regime, it's, again, not a lot of attention has been paid on Iraq. And that's why I came here 3 weeks ago to do these stories. And here you have an American who has been kidnapped, and then all of these attacks. Absolutely. And, there's one date that is absolutely in the president's mind, and that is the midterm elections in November. And he wants to have this wrapped up before then and give himself some time, by the end of mid-April, maybe into May, and then have all of May, June, July, August, September, and October to be rallying the base so that he doesn't lose any more seats, both in the House and the Senate. But I say that to tell you, the Iranians inside the country are very concerned that the president will basically just drop them like a bad habit. And we hope and pray that that's not the case. Obviously, the Netanyahu government in Israel wants a regime change. Today, the president says, well, we've had a regime change. The group of people that we're dealing with today are not the top tier, nor the second tier, nor the third tier. These are folks that we've never dealt with. That's not regime change in the minds of the Iranians that I've spoken to over and over again. They want to see a complete regime change, a new leadership, a new system of governance. And so the worry is that if, in fact, the president is wrapping up the military operations vis-a-vis Iran and basically washing his hands of the whole situation, that will not be good news for the people inside. And all indications are that if the regime is not removed, it'll be a bloodbath. They will take revenge on all those protesters, tens of thousands of protesters over the months that have taken to the streets. We just heard this week, 1,600 Iranians are facing potential execution. They were arrested with no due process, and thousands more are languishing in the prisons inside of Iran. And so it's going to be heartbreaking. We'll have to wait and see. But the Iranian street is hoping and praying that President Trump will continue this operation that would eventually lead to the complete collapse and the removal of the Islamic regime.
Well, I think he makes a clear case why there has to be a regime change now. Yeah. And the question is, who's running the country? We don't know. At least we don't know at this level. They may know at higher intelligence. But I think he's absolutely right. And in the middle of this, we're going to watch another 1,500 people just be executed.
Executed, yeah.
I don't know. There's so much here. But,
I don't think so.
I I believe, as controversial as the president is, that he won't abandon the moral obligation of why he did this in the first place, and that was to not only get rid of the nukes inside this country, but to free the people there. And to free the people there, they got to have a chance of putting their own government in place. It's the only way it's going to work. All right, let's check out a guy that's free of all kinds of things.
Here's your forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly before 2 p.m. and then some sun breaks in the afternoon with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Across the Willamette Valley, it stays cloudy, cool, and wet. Salem reaches a high of 56, while Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene all top out near 55, with conditions beginning to improve later toward evening. In central Oregon, a chance of rain and snow in upper 40s in Prineville. Snow likely for Bend and Sun River with highs in the low to mid 40s. Scattered rain and snow in Boise in upper 40s. Along the Oregon coast, showers and possibly thunderstorms, then clearing with highs in the mid-50s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Rain continues for Brookings with a high near 51 and Crescent City, California near 54. In southern Oregon, rain mixed with snow in spots this morning in the Rogue Valley, then mostly cloudy in mid-50s for Grants Pass and Medford and 49 in Ashland. Snow in Klamath Falls and highs in the mid-40s. Into northern California, a chance of rain and snow in Wairika with a high near 52. Sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime high temperatures in the mid-60s and lows in the 40s. Sunshine returns across the Bay Area with daytime highs in the mid-60s for Santa Rosa and Napa through San Francisco and down to San Jose with a northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 18. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful day of our valley and a little sunshine poking through the clouds, and you can see a little snow out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah, so we did get some snow at a higher elevation.
Yep.
But anyway, it's going to slowly clear up and warm up.
Yep. Well, you know, daytime drama. It's been something. If you need it, you can tune on. And you know, since the 1950s, as the stomach turns, right? General Hospital, and you fill in the blank. There's been so many daytime drama, you know, programs that have lasted for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So it was, I guess, no wonder that on this day in history, television took a dramatic turn into prime time. On April 2nd, 1978, Dallas premiered on CBS as a 5-part miniseries, but it didn't stay small for long. Starring Larry Hagman and Barbara Bel Geddes, the show followed the powerful and often ruthless Ewing family and their Texas oil empire. Audiences were hooked. Filled with betrayal, romance, and jaw-dropping cliffhangers, Dallas helped bring soap opera storytelling into prime time and changed TV forever. And of course, there was the question that stopped a nation. Who shot JR? More than 80 million viewers tuned in for the answer, making it one of the most watched moments in television history. The show would go on to run for 13 seasons, winning multiple Emmy Awards and setting the standard for nighttime drama. From the oil fields of Texas to living rooms across America, Dallas proved that drama doesn't clock out after daytime. And you know what I thought the very first time I saw an episode of Dallas? I thought, no, that's JR. No, that's Major Nelson from I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hagman. Larry Hagman. It was the yes.
And Linda, what was the other guy?
Linda. I don't. There was a Linda Evans on there.
Linda Evans.
Yes.
And then, of course, the other guy, the brother. Patrick, he's here.
Patrick Duffy moved to Southern Oregon. That's right. Brought the drama here to Southern Oregon.
Never did see him in a hat. Did he ever wear a hat?
I don't think so. He must not have been a real cowboy.
Who shot JR?
Who? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But we're all wondering about it.
Yeah, who shot JR?
Oh, that's coming up. We'll do that one.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, let's go to PragerU, and Will Witt, he goes on campus at Cal State Los Angeles and asks the students about Cesar Chavez. By the way, I understand that the Cesar Chavez Boulevard in Portland may be changed.
They're talking about it. Do you think it'll go?
Well, they ought to just move it back to 39th Avenue.
Right.
You know, that's the easiest thing to do.
Absolutely.
So anyway, here's a little bit of going on campus.
You know who Cesar Chavez is?
I'm not too familiar, no. I've heard of him, though, yeah.
Okay.
He had an important role in the Mexican or Hispanic community.
He boycotted and raised farms and for wages, but I'm not really that informed.
He's pretty cool. I live near the street, Cesar Chavez.
You heard of Si Se Puede?
Yes.
Yes, we can. So he was like a Hispanic hero to the community, right? Have you ever heard other people talking about him in like a heroic way?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Is your outlook on Cesar Chavez positive, negative, mixed? Positive.
He seemed like a very inspirational role model.
So Cesar Chavez Day is coming up. Or will you be celebrating?
Yes, I will. Will be. Yeah.
Why is that?
To honor his achievements in life.
Do you know what Cesar Chavez thought about illegal immigration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you?
No. Not too specifically, but I do know his cause and his rights, like what he wanted to do for the community. I'm sure he was pro.
He was actually anti-illegal immigration.
Did he come here illegally or?
He was legal. Are you pro or against illegal immigration?
Against? Wait.
Against illegal immigration.
Well, I'm against, yeah. Is that what that is? Yeah, right?
Like, do you want people crossing over the border illegally?
Oh. Yeah.
Do you think that it's more important as an American to care about the lives of American citizens or foreign citizens?
I would say foreign citizens because they kind of come here out of like bravery.
You said your mom came here legally, right? She didn't cut in line. But if someone came in here illegally and made her wages go down, made it harder for her to work, do you think that that's tough? It's not a good idea?
Honestly, I don't really think it's so. I think it's okay.
Do you think that that's fair that they get the job over you?
I wouldn't mind it, especially because I have the privilege of growing up here. And
But then you wouldn't have a job.
yeah, but what if they're in a more dire need of needing a job than I do?
Do you think that's fair? Is this right?
Do you think it's fair?
I don't think it's fair. No.
I think everyone should be protected equally, but yeah.
Would you protect me?
Sure.
So Cesar Chavez himself, he did all these things for Mexicans and Hispanics in this country, for legal people in this country, but he also hated illegal immigration. So he would go down to the border and beat up Mexicans and call them wetbacks for coming into this country illegally.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's news.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even know that. It's just like really surprising. Yeah.
Kind of mean.
Yeah, it is a little bit mean.
I didn't know he did that actually, I don't
Yeah,
think.
most people don't know that he did that.
Oh,
We
we're...
don't celebrate that on his day.
Oh, shoot. Yeah,
Well, that's for $30,000 education.
And with that in mind, Perry, let me ask you, what's your outlook on the future of this country when you hear these young minds full of mush being being interviewed and revealing what little they really know?
Well, I want to give them a little bit of a pass.
Okay.
I don't think that age group would have any idea who Cesar Chavez was.
Right. But what really gets
So they would have to be told who he was, and
Well-
they would have to be propagandized by who he was.
Well, what gets me is when they ask a college student, what's more important, protecting the rights of an American citizen or an immigrant? And they was like, well, immigrant. And then when they say, wouldn't you be upset if they gave the job to an illegal immigrant over you? No, because I had the advantage of being raised in this country. Well, how about if you got to pay your rent?
Yeah.
And your dad's not doing it.
Well, look, you make some great points there. I think it's obvious that these people. What did Governor Huckabee Sanders say?
Okay.
She said,
yes.
This is the difference between normal and crazy.
Yes. She said it well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you want to vote for crazy.
There they are. Yep. Do it.
Okay, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this
This is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
All right, welcome back. Today is a Maundy Thursday. What is that? We asked Pastor Professor Rick Boya to explain it, and here's what he had to say.
Maundy, it's Maundy.
Maundy.
It comes from mandatum, which means commandments. It's the night he gave them the great commandment, you shall love one another. And he washed their feet.
Yeah.
And the whole...
Would you wash Judas's feet? Or you bite his toe?
I am not as good as my Lord. He washed Judas's feet, and it's a lesson to us as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Maundy Thursday, many churches, Trail Fellowship, my home church, has a service on Maundy Thursday, meditations on what occurred on that night. And it is a sobering and wonderful time to celebrate the mysteries of the Lord's commandment to us, and how, you know, we're always held back to that, you know, especially when we get angry with each other.
Right.
You know, he says, hey, I saved all of you, and the best of you is not that much better than the worst of you. So I want you to forgive each other. I want you to love each other. This is my great command. Maundy Thursday is about that.
Okay. But it does result the following morning, the 12 leaving.
Yes, they run away because they're scared. Yeah.
How do you go from upper room to running away?
By being a human.
Okay.
I mean, if he could trust us, he wouldn't have had to die for us, you know?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is more amazing than people think.
Yeah.
You know, we take it for granted, or we water it down.
Yeah.
We don't realize how bad our sin is, and therefore we don't realize how wonderful and mysterious and
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Grace back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Chico and the North State. Seen on KKRM 11, Channel 21, and these Dove TV affiliates.
Perry, great to see you today. I hope you're doing fine.
Yeah, doing well. And been a while. Got to see you there at the NRB. And I want to just say to you and Troy and the whole team, thanks for all that you guys are doing. You guys are doing a wonderful job. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
The Johnson Amendment, churches, religious organizations, looks like they're going to appeal the dismissal of the Johnson Amendment. Maybe you can bring our listeners and viewers up to speed what the Johnson Amendment is and how significant this passing is.
Sure. The law got changed in 1954 by Lyndon Johnson when he was a U.S. Senator that said that nonprofit organizations cannot support or oppose candidates. And at the time, there were a great number of organizations that couldn't support or oppose candidates, but all those have been wiped away over the years, except for 501c3 organizations, including churches. We filed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of that and had worked out a proposed consent decree with the Trump administration's Justice Department that would eliminate the use of the Johnson Amendment relative to church worship services. But that had to be approved by the judge. And yes, this week, the judge ruled that he did not have jurisdiction over the case. It wasn't on the merits in any way, but he said that there is a law called the Anti-Injunction Act that says you can't sue about your taxes. We don't agree with his decision, although obviously it was made in good faith. But and we're going to appeal to the Fifth Circuit, and we think that there's a good chance that we'll get a different decision.
So he just passed it on. Judge Barker just passed it on without prejudice. So it just sits there now.
Right.
You start all over again. Is that what happens?
Well, we have to appeal that decision itself. Basically, we could file another lawsuit if there were new facts. But on these facts, he's saying we can't file a lawsuit right now. We think that's a wrong decision. Basically, he's saying the only way you can challenge this law is if you get punished for violating the law. And there's a long-time rule of the Supreme Court that says when it comes to First Amendment freedoms, you don't have to put yourself in jeopardy and violate the law And if it's curtailing your free speech, you can challenge it without violating the law. And so that's the rule that's applicable here, and that we should be able to challenge this rule that silences pastors without having to them get in trouble and their church lose tax exempt status or anything like that. They should be able to go to court and say, this law is wrong. We think it violates the Constitution, and the court should rule. That's the status of the case right there, is in the essence of what the Fifth Circuit's going to be asked to decide.
One of the goals here, Michael, is to get this away from the IRS so churches or nonprofit organizations would lose that status. I mean, that's got to be one of the end goals, right?
It is. And it's to stop the disparity of treatment as well. We submitted dozens of examples of nonprofit organization endorsing Democratic candidate, and they get away with it regularly. And so the rule shouldn't be left to an organization that has such a history of discriminatory enforcement. And so, the rule of law should be the rule of law for everybody. And it's impossible to try to regulate political speech in a fair-minded manner. And so the best thing is just don't try to regulate it, especially in the church worship service context.
It's mentioned in there that the Anti-Injunction Act. What is that? What is that act, and how does that apply?
It's an act that's very old. It's basically you can't sue in the midst of trying to pay your taxes. That they want the government requires you, if you have a dispute about the legality of your taxes, you have to pay your taxes and then sue to get them back. Well, if you were in an ordinary tax-paying situation, that'd be fine. But there's nothing that a church or any other nonprofit can do in this context because unless the IRS decides to come after you, there's nothing to be done. And so you're left out there in legal limbo, not being able to. You don't want to violate the law and take a risk. The honorable thing to do is to step forward and say, we would like to be able to speak freely about candidates, but this law is in the way. So please let us know if this law is constitutional. That's the honorable way, and that's what another act called the Declaratory Judgment Act is all about. It lets you go get a declaration on what the law means without having to put yourself in jeopardy. And so this is the way honorable people fight. It's the law permits it and encourages it, and it should be allowed here.
So, Michael, do you have any idea why the court is avoiding the constitutionality of this?
No, I mean, to take it at face value, the judge is required to find that he has jurisdiction. And if you take the most narrow reading possible of the Anti-Injunction Act, you can reach the conclusion that he gets to. But that's not the only reading, and not the only reading that the Supreme Court of the United States has given. The court has said is that when there's no other way to challenge the law in question in a reasonable manner, you don't have to follow the Anti-Injunction. Say there's a built-in, basically a constitutionally built-in exception to it. And we think that should have been applied here, but the judge saw it otherwise, and that's what appellate courts are for, is to work out those kinds of things.
At the end of the day, this is an impact on the First Amendment. We saw a Supreme Court ruling, I think just 2 days ago, when it comes to transition therapy, that overruled a court in Colorado to try to block that, and it was 8-1, and that goes forward, again, under the First Amendment right that a therapist can say what they believe. So doesn't this kind of fit there, too?
It does. In fact, I wrote an amicus brief for NRB in that case, and it's my former colleagues at Alliance Defending Freedom that argued and won that case. I was very happy for them. But that's the basic rule, is that the government can't silence speech that it doesn't want to hear. And that's true. At the pinnacle of that is speech about candidates. In fact, the reason we have the First Amendment in the first place is that Baptist churches in Orange County, Virginia, and the areas around there, endorsed James Madison only for his first race for Congress so that he would get a Bill of Rights, because they told him, James, if you don't give us a Bill of Rights, we're not going to vote for you. He made a deal. He said, "Okay, I'll get you the Bill of Rights, including freedom of religion," and that's where we got the First Amendment, was that political deal in a church and voting. And so the very beginnings of religious freedom protections in this country are tied up in churches endorsing candidates.
It seems to me, when you see the heat of campaigns and things going on, you see this Johnson Amendment being violated by very liberal churches. And I don't know how else to say that fairly, but churches that are just seemingly very liberal have violated this left and right, where they actually, people call themselves reverends and get up there and campaign for somebody. Why haven't they been called on the carpet?
Because the way the rule works in actual practice is you can't endorse Republican candidates. It's fine to endorse Democrat candidates. We filed dozens of examples of what you just said in the court record, video evidence of Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden standing in front of churches, getting endorsed by the pastor, and then making political speeches themselves, asking for votes. That was all done. It's all video evidence. And, you do the thing to the contrary. We filed evidence to the contrary that my own church, for example, Cornerstone Chapel in Leesburg, Virginia, was fined when our pastor discussed the two political parties' platforms and said the one party platform conforms with the Bible on moral issues like abortion and other things, and the other one doesn't. And basically didn't say you had to vote for a particular candidate. In fact, they said you don't have to vote for Donald Trump, but I don't see how you can vote for a person that adheres to the Democratic platform. And so that's the kind of thing, the unequal enforcement that lies behind this lawsuit in many ways.
Is the fine line, Michael, of the Johnson Amendment says that a pastor can't tell the congregation who to vote for, but he can say, or she can say, who they're going to vote for?
Well, that would not be clear. And that's part of the problem is that one of the reasons you don't want to have a law there's a doctrine called void for vagueness. And when a law gets down to those kind of fine-tuned cases, I think the IRS would likely, if they were being aggressive about it, say that's the same thing. When a pastor says, I'm going to vote for Bill Smith or John Jones, then he's endorsed them. And so what you could say, even according to the IRS, you could say you should vote pro-life and go look at all the candidates and see if they're pro-life or not. You can do that without any question. But if you would say you should vote pro-life and Bill is pro-life and Larry's not pro-life, that would be an endorsement.
Was there a time they were trying to draw a line with the IRS as it related to a worship service rather than a pastor making a statement?
Well, that's our case, that the consent decree included the context of a church worship service. We wanted the order that we were seeking approval for was limited to church worship services, meaning a church couldn't hold a political rally on Thursday and call that protected by the First Amendment. It was because we were relying on the religion clauses of the First Amendment, it had to be a church worship service. And so that's all the IRS would agree to. And we think that, the Constitution is even broader than that, but the IRS was willing to give up on the church worship service context. And so pastors could say whatever they wanted to say on Sunday morning. They could say, vote for this candidate. He's a great guy. He's a believer. He's right on all the issues. Please go vote for him. You could do that. Or don't vote for this other guy. He's terrible on LGBT issues and whatever. You could say whatever you want in the worship service. And you could, if you normally broadcast your sermons, you can broadcast this one too. What you couldn't do is go buy special radio or television time and just broadcast only your election sermon. That would be considered improper electioneering. So, so there were some limits, but the pulpit was free to say whatever the pastor wanted to say during the worship service.
Okay. So, what's ahead? What are you looking forward to do with this now?
Well, within the next few days, we'll file a notice of appeal to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. That's will probably be in the Dallas courtroom for this, and so within a few months there will be an oral argument. Probably about 4 to 6 months from now, there'd be an oral argument, and we'll get a decision probably 30 to 90 days after that oral argument. Could be a little longer, but I would guess 30 to 90 in this particular case is a reasonable guess. So sometime this year, I would expect a decision on the case, and the case will either go forward or the Fifth Circuit could actually just completely approve the consent decree, and the Johnson Amendment would be history as it pertains to churches.
Could it get appealed to the Supreme Court?
It could, yeah. It depends on how it goes with the Fifth Circuit, and it's a little different here because the government and NRB is on the same side on the consent decree itself, no more than that. And so whether if there's a favorable ruling in the Fifth Circuit, I don't think anybody will appeal.
Okay. Let me take a quick break. I want to come back. I do want to talk to you about the Nexstar thing, if you don't mind. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, Michael Ferris is with us, just really a tremendous asset to the NRB. He is the chief counsel for the National Religious Broadcasters, and you can go to nrb.org. If you're not a member of this organization, you should be. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Something to think about from the Dove TV.
Jesus was sweating blood as he thought about it and said, Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. What was Jesus recoiling from? He was recoiling from taking the sin of the world upon himself. He who was holy would bear everything that was unholy. He who was sinless would take upon himself everything that was sinful. All the sin of humanity. My sin's bad enough. Yours makes it even worse. Imagine the whole human race poured upon him as he died in our place as a substitute. And that is why he cried out, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? But Jesus was forsaken so I could be forgiven. He died in my place.
Something to think about from the Dove TV.
Welcome back. Such an honor to have with us today Michael Ferris. He's a constitutional attorney and a longtime advocate for religious freedom and free speech. And currently he is serving as the general counsel for the National Religious Broadcasters. And believe me, he's a jewel on the staff there. You can go to nrb.org. The National Religious Broadcasters, an amazing organization. And if you have anything to do with media at any level, you should belong to this organization, nrb.org. Michael, I know that this is a big topic, and I want to be fair to our viewers and listeners who may not understand it, but the Nextart Tegna mega merger was heading for completion, and kind of a staggering moment from Chairman Carr of the FCC. He's been pretty much doing a great job, and then all of a sudden this decision was made. But it's now been blocked by a ruling antitrust judge. First of all, tell our viewers what this case really is.
Well, there's litigation challenging an approval by the FCC at an administrative level. It wasn't the whole Communications Commission that approved the merger, but they did it in a procedural fashion that was done at a lower level administrative mechanism. And there was a lawsuit filed by a number of organizations that would be affected adversely by this. And we filed an amicus brief in one of the cases. There's more than one case involved, but in the case in the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, we filed a brief there recently basically on an emergency basis. And the issue of the case is whether this merger, which puts a huge number of viewers altogether, violates a congressional law that limits monopolies on broadcasting. Mm-hmm. And so this administrative decision pretty much runs facially against that law. And our contention is if you're going to change the law, Congress has got to change the law. You can't just do it with an administrative matter, especially not a lower level administrative matter.
Okay, so a couple things here. We're talking about the 39% law. We can come back to that in just a moment. But is the issue that it didn't go to full FCC committee for a vote? Is that the issue?
Well, it's one of the issues. When you attack something for being improper, as a lawyer, you attack it on any basis you've got. And the fact that it wasn't done by the whole commission is one of the issues. But the deeper and broader issue is even the commission can't do this because it's a direct violation of a statute. And agencies are supposed to be following statutes and applying statutes, interpreting them to some degree, but they can't change statutes. And so Congress is the one that passes the law. I mean, Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution says all legislative authority is vested in Congress of the United States. And the reason we do that is so if people don't like the law, we can vote the rascals out who made the law. But when the agencies make the law instead of the elected representative of the people, you can't vote the agencies out of existence. And so that's the constitutional reasoning behind it all. And so that's the principle that we're standing up for, is that agencies just can't make up law.
Okay, that's a big deal. You have any idea why Chairman Carr did this?
No, that's speculation on why political people do one thing or another is a dangerous task, especially when you have to appear before them on a regular basis.
Right.
And so, he obviously thought it was lawful, and he also thought it was good for the country. I mean, I don't think Chairman Carr would do anything that he didn't think was lawful or he didn't think was good for the country. People can disagree about that, especially the lawfulness of it, and still think that people are acting in good faith. So I have to assume that he's acting in good faith, but people have differing views of what the law requires and what's good for the country.
Okay, so in the meantime, if that merger was to hold and go forward, it could represent 80% of the television households in America, which clearly flies in the face of the 39% rule.
Indeed.
And so that's the big argument, right?
That's the big argument, yeah. And the practical effect of this is that we've seen that the bigger they get, the more likely they are to kick religious television off completely. And so, the antitrust law is an important principle, but the bigger principle is that people need to be able to have access to religious television, to religious programming. And when there's real competition, you have a better availability for that. When you don't have competition, that ability goes away.
I was trying to explain that to our viewers and listeners, why I see this as really a bad deal, and how you and Troy and the team there have really, on our behalf, fighting for our existence, because it would impact religious television, no question about that. But moreover, it seems to be a clear violation of the current law. Not only do you go from 39% to 80%, where does antitrust and monopoly rules come into play?
Yeah, well, they're correlated here, that's for sure. And I'm not an antitrust or monopoly expert, but people with basic math skills can figure that one out. When you're at 80%, there's a real problem.
So what's your feeling? Where do you think it's going to happen here?
Well, the court stopped it for the time being, and I think that there's a good prospect that will be the final result. But I'm not a prophet or the son of a prophet, and been running nonprofit organizations for 40 years. So being prophetic about this is not within my wheelhouse.
No, I understand that, but again, just for this, because I've been talking about it to our audience, and help me out a little bit. Maybe you could explain it from your perspective, why this would hurt me.
Well, is that some of the big cable networks, for example, that are not regulated by the FCC in the same way that broadcast television is, in fact, basically not at all. Many of them have just kicked religious programming completely off their systems. You can't get there. So, and some of the systems that have been broadcasting and doing cable and are regulated in that fashion, when they go to streaming instead, it's just a different mechanism to use the same thing, they kick religious television off. So the bigger they get, the more consolidated they get, the more power they have, the more that we're subject, the religious broadcasters are subject to the whims of the owners of these systems. And historically, they have not proven to be friendly to our cause. And they'd rather show bad movies than people preaching the word of God. There's more profit in it, perhaps, for them or something. I don't know why, but there's a clear pattern, and we need to stand up for the ability to keep the gospel and religious programming and good information coming to people on a regular basis. And the nooks and crannies of which way the law is going to turn going to do that. But that's the guiding principle. We need to be able to have freedom to keep the God's truth coming over the airways.
You've had some strong bipartisan support at the Commerce Committee on the Senate side. You got Senator Ted Cruz waving your flag. You got Newsmax, ZOA, and the NRB. Seems like you got some pretty good power behind this.
Indeed, and so it doesn't appear to be a clean Republican-Democrat split as often things are. As the Senate and Congress shows. And so, we're hopeful that we're going to prevail in the end of the day. But, I'd ask people to pray for us. And as it becomes appropriate, to write or call their congressman about it. There's not a live matter right now that's, particularly focused on this. But this bears watching. It certainly bears prayer. And I appreciate you keeping your viewers informed about this, because it really will affect their ability to get the kind of information that they want.
Yeah. Michael, thank you. Thank you for your time. We value it greatly. Thank you to all of you there at the NRB. And you tell Troy that I said he has to buy you lunch.
Okay. He usually does.
Yeah. And let me know how that works out for you, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good to see you. God bless you, friend. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
The crisis inside Ukraine has reached a catastrophic level, with the elderly Jews pushed to the very limit.
Go inside. She's freezing cold. There's no electricity, no heat, no water. Winter is now a weapon of war used against the elderly, the mothers, and the young children.
They've been lined up here for hours. These are precious people who are hungry, and they have nothing. If someone doesn't do something soon, a humanitarian disaster is coming. So many Jewish people who are just waiting for someone to care enough to pick up the phone.
Fears are growing that without an emergency, full-scale response, thousands will die this winter.
The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews needs your $25 gift now to help rush a winter survival food box of emergency food for elderly Jews and families in Ukraine. Time is critical. Please give now.
They felt the shaking of missiles. These are people who have already endured so much suffering and disaster.
The fellowship has been here and across the former Soviet Union for decades, but the need has never been more urgent.
Taking out power, taking out water, simple water to drink. We're talking about the difference between life or death. Christian, Jew, standing shoulder to shoulder, saying, we're here to heal, we're here to help.
Your gift of only $25 helps rush a winter survival food box filled with life-saving emergency food for elderly Jews and families in Ukraine who are struggling daily to stay warm and fed. Please call or go online while there is still time.
Okay, welcome back. And of course, you know, last night the president addressed the nation as relates to the war going on in Iran. And I am very honored to have with us today Casey Fleming. He is the counterintelligence expert and CEO of Black Ops Partners, advising global leaders and national security in cognitive warfare and strategic risk. He's the best-selling author of The Red Tsunami, which is a powerful book, and has advised Fortune 500 companies, Congress, the Pentagon, and U.S. intelligence and security agencies on emerging global threat. There is a picture of the cover of his book there, The Red Tsunami. There on the screen, and he does have a website, blackopspartners.com, blackopspartners.com. Casey, good to see you again. How are you?
Great to be with you, Perry.
Thank you for your time. The president said last night, essentially, Iran's no longer a threat. Is that an accurate statement?
Not that accurate. When you poke a terrorist organization, they go underground, and that's really what's happened. Remember, Iran is the forward operating base for Russia and China in the Middle East, and they've been working together. Mostly China has been helping them put a lot of facilities underground, helping them with their weapon systems, buying their oil for well over 10 years, and doing military exercises, training military, and so on for well over 10 years. The biggest threat to Iran at the time was Israel. When the U.S. stepped in, that just partnered with Israel to go after Iran. So from a shock and awe perspective, sure, it looks really, really good. But still, the regime is still in control. They still have the Strait of Hormuz shut down. So it's not a win. At this time, it's not a win.
He went on to say that additional strikes are coming in the coming weeks. In the meantime, after the speech, some missiles from Iran was lobbed over to Israel. They still have something. A couple of questions. Are they getting things from China and Russia? Are they actually getting supplies through into Iran at this moment?
It's minimal that they're receiving supplies, but they did load up quite a bit during the first week of the war. In fact, there were 2 Iranian ships that were in China loading on solid rocket fuel. That was during the first week of the Iran war. Little is getting through at this time, but they have tremendous stockpiles. And again, a lot of that stuff is underground, and a lot of it's inside of their mountains that are made of granite.
The president went on to say that key nuclear sites have been taken out. However, they are looking for the enriched uranium. How dangerous is that move?
Well, first, didn't we hear earlier in the year that those nuclear sites were already taken out by the B-2 mission several months ago? Now we're hearing again that they're taken out again. So I'm not being political here. I'm just being critical thinking,
right,
and knowing from an intelligence perspective. There's still work to be done, and they're probably to be able to eradicate the nuclear threat, you're going to have boots on the ground. That's all there is to it. And to do that, that's going to be very messy. And we're hoping that if that goes to task, that it's going to involve Israeli boots as well as hopefully not American boots, but at least Israeli boots are in there as well, because they're partners in this war.
Can the enriched uranium be seized?
Very difficultly, especially by troops. Enriched uranium is very toxic, very radioactive, and you have to have experts handling it, not your typical GIs that are grounder pounders. So it's a tall task and a tall order. It's not that it can't be done, but it needs to be treated very seriously. And it's a surgical mission. And don't forget, you've got terrorists that are saying, "Hey, come and get us."
Let me back up a little bit. Do you have any idea, who the president's talking to? Because the foreign minister comes out and said, we haven't had any talks. I mean, what's going on here?
There's a gentleman we can't tell the name, but there's somebody that stepped up that says, hey, I'm going to be the future leader. You need to talk to me. So he's at least getting some dialogue with someone, but they are not in power. The IRGC is still in power, and now they're fragmented because they've planned for this. To fragment the power, and they're ordered to execute. If you don't get orders, then just go ahead and execute against the plan that we agreed to months ago. So these guys are standalone groups that are executing against those orders now that the head of it is all decapitated.
It appears, Casey, that Israel has the intelligence to go after these people and get them one by one. The record shows that. I don't know if that is the agreement between Israel and the United States. You go after the people, we'll go after the sites. But it appears that they know where these people are. Or am I misreading this?
Mossad is a very effective organization, but remember, people move. It's very difficult to track X number of people, whether it's 50 or 100 or 300. It's very difficult to track individuals. It's like tracking ants. So, this is actually a quagmire. It's not a typical war, not like Iraq, not like any other type of country with a strong command and control. This command and control is fragmented, and that's why there's no real win right now. And there's really no off-ramp where there's a win-win for the United States and Israel going forward. This thing will go on for quite a long period of time until we eradicate those people and chase down those terrorists, as you mentioned, one by one. But again, the number of those are all, remember, these people have nothing to live for and everything to die for. That's the ideology of a terrorist. Yeah. They're dying for martyrdom.
Yeah, it's been said they're a death cult, basically.
Yep.
Okay, so where are the citizens these days? I mean, they were in the streets, and I know 45,000 have been murdered, and another 1,300 or 1,400 could be executed today. Where are the citizens these days?
They're still in hiding. They're told not to come out because if you come out, we're going to kill you. If you do any protesting or any pro-United States or Israel, you will be killed. And they're still using surveillance technology that the Chinese Communist Party put in for them, the cameras, the AI, and all the tracking. So they're being tracked. They've got their faces. If you've been protesting before, they're in a database. And so those folks are all, they've got snipers on roofs that are taking out people that are protesting or anything that is anti-IRGC.
What's your take on NATO's involvement or lack thereof?
It's sad. Their view, they're very territorial. In other words, European. They say this is not our war. And to a degree, they're absolutely correct. It's not their war. The question is, do they jump in and support a country that says, hey, this is a total threat? And they are. You know, the IRGC having nuclear capability is very serious. They mean it when they say death to Israel and death to America. They absolutely mean it. That means every American and every Israeli is on the front line of this thing. So, you know, Trump is doing the job that has not been addressed for 47 years. But at the same time, Europe says, hey, look, we don't want to be in this mess. It's a quagmire, and it's not our fight. But they do use the oil. They are going to be in an energy crunch. They are already rationing in some countries because of the oil shortage, because of the Strait of Hormuz. So it's a 50-50 deal. Do they get in or do they stand aside? But if they stand aside, it doesn't bode well for the country, United States, that pretty much gave it its all in World War I and World War II.
What do you think of France and Spain closing the airspace to our Air Force or our military, and yet we have bases there to protect them?
That's a severe commentary by France and Spain to say, hey, you know, it's one thing not to get involved militarily, but to shut down bases is, to me, it's incomprehensible. You just don't understand it. For years, we've had bases there to protect them. We've fought for Europe and their freedom back in World War II. So that is the absolute bare minimum, in my opinion. And to shut those down is a severe commentary to the Trump administration and honestly to the American people.
Is that, from your perspective, Casey, political or ignorance?
50-50. Absolutely 50-50. Trump didn't do anybody any justice. His negotiating style is to come in and beat and batter and tear things apart and then say, hey, let's do a deal. He doesn't work with people towards an agreement. He comes in as the bully. That's my opinion. And so he bullies them into submission and to cutting a deal. And that has worked in the past for him, and it's showing that it's no longer an effective method. And by the way, these are not business deals. These are military partnerships and freedom partnerships that he's putting together. These are not business deals, and he needs to get away from that pretty quickly.
Okay, so back to the ignorance part. I mean, are you saying that members maybe of NATO or the European nations didn't understand that Iran had the missile capability of delivering a missile into their backyard, number one, and number two, that they could control their oil to where they could basically freeze them to death? Are you saying that there's a good portion of Europe that just didn't get that?
Yes. The reason is the hostility from the United States towards Europe and them saying, hey, we're not going to take that piece of it. The other thing is, remember, a lot of Europe has gone to the left side, to the liberal side. Mm-hmm. So it's, anything but, peace through strength, peace through deterrence. That kind of stuff is out the window. It's every man for himself. And, this whole alliance that's worked in the past is not working. You can see that it's not working now today. So something has to change with Europe, the EU, NATO, and the United States, because this is not a good situation for us to be in. I know that the administration thought that we would be completely able to say mission accomplished at this point. They're delaying it, and then more threats of increased bombing and campaigns and so on. But the free world has to come together against the hostile world, and the anti-freedom world and the anti-God world. So we all need to come together in the free side. I actually have a quote when I wrote the book. The world will be won or lost within the next 10 years or less. What that means, it'll either be all freedom or freedom and democracy and liberty, or it will all be communist. That's really what we're facing right here.
Well said. It appears that Israel's more determined to complete the job than maybe we are. Is that fair?
We have the tools at hand. Here's the point. If we put American boots on the ground, that's really going to sour the American people. We don't want to put our men and women at risk. That's the biggest issue. Israel doesn't have a problem with that. They're fighting for their lives, but they're spread very thin now. They've used up all of their soldiers. They're in combat. They're on the ground. They have to go to conscription very quickly to get people to join the IDF. Because they're out of people, they're out of soldiers. So if they're going to do a ground campaign, they're going to have to conscript these people, get them trained, and that takes time to do that. So, I think both Israel and the United States were very optimistic in their plans to win this thing, to come in, shock and awe them, and to take the thing over and have the people rise up and take control. That was a very optimistic plan. That has not proven to be true right now. So the question is, what's the exit strategy? What's the off-ramp? And, Trump even said, we cannot and will not allow Iran to have nuclear weapons. Well, that's going to take boots on the ground, somebody's boots on the ground, and it's not an easy answer.
Okay, let me take a break here because I got more on this. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Casey's website, blackopspartner.com, and certainly get a copy of his book where he covers a lot of this, The Red Tsunami. There's a picture of it, the real storm killing your freedom. Check it out, The Red Tsunami. We'll be right back.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
Okay, welcome back, and very timely, and what an honor to have back with us today. Casey Fleming is a counterintelligence expert and the CEO of Black Ops Partners, which is also his website, blackopspartners.com, and the author of a must-read book called The Red Tsunami. And there's a picture of the cover of that book on the screen. I'm sure it's available online, and check it out, called The Red Tsunami. Boy, so much here, Casey. I'm trying to figure out where we go with this. What's your take on this situation with the Straits of Hormuz right now?
It's ugly. You're looking at, basically a shutdown Strait of Hormuz. Iran the IRGC is only letting through ships that they want to let through. And when they get through, they only want to clear those ships with Chinese yuan and not the petrodollar. So that's a very clear signal of who they're partnered with, who's behind them. The strategy with Iran is also Russia and China behind Iran. It's not just Iran. So this really is under the scenes, under the cover. This is a world war because you've got Russia and China behind Iran on this thing. So the Strait of Hormuz is very ugly. It's lined, forward and aft is lined with all these different undersea drones, above sea drones, and air drones, and so on. So it's very, very ugly. It would have to be cleaned out going forward, and that takes boots on the ground to do that. So it's an ugly situation, and Trump is basically saying, hey, I'm just going to wash my hands from it. I called on the allies to come in and help protect it. The allies are like, no, that's dirty. It's a terrorist organization. It's dirty. It's not clean. It's not going to be clean to eradicate the threat on the Strait of Hormuz. So they're staying out and standing down. And so the United States says, listen, this is going to be a much bigger campaign than we set out to do. And so he's threatening just to walk away and just to leave it where it is today.
Wow. We have roughly 50,000 troops sitting on ships waiting to do something. Various expertise of people. Some of the best are sitting out there ready to go. Do you think they'll be dispatched?
I actually do. I think Trump can't put this down. Here's the point. If he walks away today or in the next 2 weeks, if he walks away with them still having enriched uranium and the Strait of Hormuz still under IRGC control, Trump takes a huge hit in his polls and in his presidency for starting the war with Iran and not coming to a clear conclusion. So to have it all gray area going forward is something that I don't think that he can afford in his presidency and in his name and his legacy. And I think that because of that, you're probably going to see American boots on the ground, quite many American boots on the ground, which doesn't bode well for the American people.
Can the Straits of Hormuz be cleared out? I mean, granted, there's drones, there's mines, there's missiles. Certainly we know where all that is, intelligence being what it is. Why don't we just go attack it?
Because the strait is a very small area, but leading up to the strait, and it's a choke point. So leading up to the choke point and coming out of the choke point is a lot of territory, a lot of geography that has to be cleaned out and cleared. And as you mentioned, the mines, they've been laying mines like there's no tomorrow. And there's a clear shipping path that's already there that they have to stay within if these ships are going to transit the strait. But it's a very tall order. It's not something that can take a week or two. It's cleaned out and everybody's good and you fly a new flag. Remember, this is a terrorist organization. They think like terrorists. They act like terrorists. And when you threaten terrorists, they go underground and they dig in.
Why hasn't some of our allies come over and help with escorting ships or getting involved in that?
Because they don't want the hit. They don't want to put their ships at risk. And they don't want to stake their names into say, hey, we're joining in this war. Because if you put a Japanese ship in there or a French ship or a British ship, it means that they have joined this fight. And so, and they're not convinced that Iran or IRGC is going to be taken down anytime soon. That's a vote of non-confidence in the Trump administration and the Israeli piece of this thing going after Iran. It's a vote of non-confidence.
Wow. Let me just switch your attention to another subject briefly, because I know that you watched this. You probably heard or watched some of the argument yesterday on birthrights there in the Supreme Court. The president decided to go and listen. But there is evidence of pregnant women coming from China into America to have their babies, take them back, educate them, then bring them back and have them vote. How big of a problem is that?
It's a massive problem. They're using our laws against us. It's called lawfare, like warfare. It's a piece of unrestricted warfare. There's over 100 different methods. So they're using our own open laws and our laws against us to do that. A lot of them are coming in. It's called tourism births. They're coming into Guam because it's a U.S. protectorate. They're coming into the Northern Mariana Islands. and they're having babies and they're leaving and they're coming into the West Coast and into the blue states that are friendly to that, and they're having the babies and then they're leaving and they get dual passports. Now in China, you're not allowed to have dual passports, but in this case, you are certainly allowed to have those passports. So it must be stopped. In my opinion, it's got to be stopped. You have an enemy. You have an enemy that is having babies and getting citizenship, and they have the right, once they're citizens, they have the right just to walk on over, just like you and I, to come in, go to schools, get jobs, espionage, whatever they need to do to completely and continue to unwind the United States. This is part of this thing called unrestricted war against not the country. This is against every man, woman, and child. Remember, 30 years ago, the Chinese Communist Party redefined what war is. It's everything but military, meaning it's focused on the people. And so these actions are not against the country. They are to a degree. These actions are against every man, woman, and child. And the result is taking your freedom. That's what unrestricted warfare is. And also, remember that the head of the FBI, Christopher Wray, for many years, and even Kash Patel say the future, the largest threat to the future of the United States is the Chinese Communist Party. That has not changed, and unrestricted warfare is their strategy. So yes, to answer the question directly, it must be stopped, and I'm hoping that the Supreme Court will wake up and smell the coffee on that one.
Okay, I listened to some of that argument there yesterday, Casey, and I'm certainly no legal expert, but it didn't sound like they were making hay on this. That part of the argument you just mentioned didn't seem to resonate with the justices sitting there. They're stuck on the fact that if you're born here, you're a citizen here. So if this thing doesn't pass the Supreme Court, how do we correct it? How do we get the 14th Amendment readjusted?
Keep going back, grassroots movement from the people. Through the states, and then lean on the Supreme Court again. It could be done state by state, and therefore, hopefully, a large number of states vote it inactive, and then they take that to the Supreme Court. But it's a national security issue, is what it is.
Yeah,
these are people that are being raised by a communist regime that is destroying America. They don't want to destroy America. They are destroying America because they're inside of our gates, inside of our borders. And to the extent of unrestricted warfare on the American people, it would blow everyone's minds if they knew what we know, running this out for the past 2 decades and the success that the CCP has had with unrestricted warfare in the United States.
Your counterintelligence experience, this is a big question and a little time to answer it. I just had Michael Ferris on. He's the general counsel for the NRB, which I'm a member and a board member of that. But the point being is this: we watched the FCC okay this merger with Nexstar and Tegna, creating an 80% dominance in television ownership, which blows the 39% rule out the door. Does this play into potential propaganda control in America?
Absolutely, 100%. Our freedom is built with, freedom of speech, and you can absolutely, if it goes over 39%, that's why the 39% is there. So the Nexstar approval is just incredible to me, how that ever got voted in, and that's your freedom being voted out. So it makes it extremely ripe. Right now, in my opinion, and through all the intelligence that we see, mainstream media is completely corrupted. And it's only giving you the narrative and the propaganda that they want you to see. And the Chinese Communist Party is part of that. Other entities are part of that. And let me tell you, the American people are not part of it. And the American people's values that we all have and grew up with are not part of that. It's propaganda that you're seeing. Again, it's an alternate realm that you're basically seeing. So it's wrong on every front.
Well, I've been in Christian broadcasting 40-something years, and this to me is a threat to my life and my livelihood. So.
Well, it is, and it goes back to the spiritual warfare that we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you want to boil all of this down, it is spiritual warfare.
Right.
Unrestricted warfare. This is also part of unrestricted warfare.
Yeah. All right. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for your time. We value it. God bless you, friend. Let me sure our viewers and listeners check out the book called The Red Tsunami. Check out his website, blackopspartners.com. There is a picture of the landing page and the picture of the book. God bless you, Casey. Stay in the fight. We need you, buddy.
God bless you, sir.
See ya.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.